Like, Howard, come on, man, get in here.
You're the one asking the question.
Oh shit, where are my questions? Oh,
It's all where?
where are they? We only got a couple.
All right, 3, 2,
1. Hey everybody, welcome to Skateboard Nation. Tonight, really excited. Got Lonnie Hiromoto and Howard Hood, man. Two of the very early rippers. That's the truth of it, man. After I did a little bit of research on you guys, actually, man, a lot of research. I had a lot of fun. You guys have so much stuff on your Instagram. Well,
we gave you that much to look at?
Oh my gosh, man! Like I had no idea. I was blown away.
That's funny to hear.
So yeah, man, it was a really, the best part about this thing that I'm doing right now is just getting to learn. 'Cause I'm becoming like a historian, because I'm learning how many contests you did and how many you won, and that's back in we're talking early '78, we're talking first Hester.
Yeah, that age.
And I got some questions really for you, Howard, man. So
all right, let's go.
I'm doing anything to get Howard to talk, you guys. All right, Mr. Shy is here.
And we're talking about in the 78s. Notice how he
Yeah,
made that clear? These guys are old.
Oh, wait a minute, not just 78, man. We're going to go in before that. We're going to be hitting when you guys, you guys started skating. When was that? Like 75?
70.
74?
70.
70, holy cow,
Yeah.
man.
Shoot,
we started, I know I did, was on a roller derby with the metal wheels,
With the handle?
No, the little,
just the
little red one.
Red one, okay.
Just riding up and down the sidewalk on my knees,
Okay.
hitting a little rock and just face planting. I don't even know whose board it was. I just remember going up and down the sidewalk on one knee and kicking with the other, or with our hands and running your fingers over, and that was just it. And then, then you went to Sears or one of the JCPenney or Woolworths, and they had the little skateboard display with the urethane. I remember Sears had their boards, and you'd go there and spin the wheels, and
that Cadillac versions.
Exactly.
At that point, man, that they were stepping up.
So the first, they went from the metal wheels, and then every like I said, every drugstore and Sears and whatever had their version of a skateboard, and it had the urethane wheels and the loose ball bearings and.
Black Knight.
It was all new.
Yeah. Well, that's when the Black Knights
Black
started
Knight is when I started kicking around on one. I was like, oh, this is cool.
I still have a Black Knight.
Oh, that's sick.
Actually, Dale Smith gave it to me.
Nice.
Because I was like, I want a board with clay wheels. Have you ridden a board since then?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty rad.
I made some with Union number 5 roller skates, the metal wheel ones, and I made some. Went to Home Depot and got some red oak. Cut out some boards, and I was riding in the pool.
Were they like 24, 27-inch board? 24?
I made them about 24.
Yeah.
That thing was tiny.
And
He's crazy.
Yeah.
He was riding it at Peck Park.
So I would go up and hit tiles on it, and it was like the scariest thing I've done in years, because you really can't turn it. So you have to go, plane exactly straight ahead, because if you even turned a little bit, it would just spin out.
So wait a minute. So you did this on clay wheels?
No, on metal.
Metal
wheels.
Yeah.
This is recent.
Dude, I don't even think like Greg.
Did you photographs of it?
Yeah. I got some footage on my other Instagram before they shut me down on that.
Really?
They didn't like what I was saying.
Been there, done that, brother.
Yeah, I didn't say anything bad. It's just they didn't like my view of certain events of the past.
Okay, I gotcha. Hey man, they shut everybody down eventually.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a medal. When you get shut down, it's like, all right, I succeeded.
But that's wrong, because if you have a point of view about something and
they don't agree,
they just shut you down.
Yeah.
Even though that we should be able to discuss things. But same thing with skateboarding. Everybody's got their point of view of what happened and why it happened.
Yeah, you know what? And it's been a long time. We don't have anybody that's like a true historian type thing. You know what I mean? To really sit there and say this is how it happened. Such and such was there, because it was too big.
Right.
And stuff was happening all around the United States. So quickly. Things were so fast back then.
Yeah.
So
like every contest, somebody was doing something so knew that when you saw it, you go, "That's not possible." It's like
Yeah.
he did what?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just went up and rocked on his board and went back in, and what do they call it? And then it's like I think that was at Big O. Tim Martin did the
Tim
rock
Martin.
and roll. And
Yeah,
it's like,
man.
He did what?
He flapped that thing over
He
too. He
a
did
rock
them
and-
legit.
Yeah. Same
No.
thing with the roll in, the roll out,
Schneider.
and the invert.
Yeah.
Just, it was
Yeah.
every contest somebody did something.
Yeah, everybody, man.
What was that?
Andrick.
Yeah,
That's
there you
Foot
go, and
plants,
the
That's
foot
my
plant,
favorite, the
Yeah.
Andrick.
Yeah, I mean, and then foot plants, of course, was another thing. And
Yeah.
I mean, I did only 2 foot plants in my whole life, and they were both in contests. And asked me why I did them, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I
I remember talking to Christian the
So-
other day, and he said, I did an eggplant. He goes, I never did an eggplant. And there was a picture of him doing an eggplant. He didn't even remember doing it. Like you said, in a contest, you think, what should I? You're in the middle of your run, you're going at a wall. What do I do? And then you do some weird thing you never done before.
Yeah, well, I know I did it at Upland. It was the first foot plant I ever did. And I was just screwing around, and I didn't know I still had 9 seconds left, and I was on the face wall of the round pool. And I popped out, I posed it. I was like, fuck, there's 9 seconds left, I gotta go. And I just jumped back on it and tippy-toed it. I made it. I mean, I know I would have won that contest had the judges known that was the first time I ever did something like that. Because you don't just try and learn a foot plant at Upland, not in the round bowl,
Right.
But, okay, so I'm kind of going off. I'm not even looking at my paper right now. But you guys both have skated all 3 of the combi pools, right?
I did not ride the first one.
Oh, you didn't ride the first one? The real one? The legit?
I was too much into surfing at the time and punk rock.
Oh, my goodness, man. All right, so you rode
I
all
rode
3.
the first one, yeah.
Okay.
It was nothing like the ones out today.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was totally kinky.
So when you see that slam of Chris Miller, that was a slam of Chris Miller's.
Okay, that was the legit one, the
Weren't
first
you
one.
there?
Right.
The first one.
No, I wasn't
You were
there.
at that-
Yeah.
No,
that
but
contest?
I know that corner, and it's like, whoa.
Hey, man, it was the corner. It was the square pool that killed me.
Yeah, that's what killed him.
I blew my hip out. I did frontside invert on that, and both times I had not enough speed to carry it around. And I just got there and posed, and I just fell straight down to the bottom.
Straight down.
There's no transition. It was
No.
straight to the bottom.
That thing was
So
Vert.
anyway, but I kept trying it because I figured that was the only. If I made that, I thought I could win, But
It's
oh,
so
shit,
crazy.
I
the
didn't
stuff,
make it.
the stuff we had to skate before, like Paramount Skate Park, like
Yeah.
Upland, like Lakewood. All those things had true vert.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember Oxnard?
Yeah.
Remember that half pipe?
Yeah. Yeah.
With little
Yeah. Yeah.
and there was a half pipe.
Yeah.
That the middle keyhole at Marina Del Rey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was
Upper
just-
key.
No,
Yeah.
the middle one.
The
There
middle.
was- there
That
was the-
big.
Yeah,
like
that just-
15,
Yeah.
13.
Yeah,
footer?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Round tub.
No. There was a
No.
dog bowl, and then there was
Yeah.
the upper keyhole, but there was this
Yeah.
other keyhole that was right in between them.
Yeah.
And Lonnie used to ride it all the time. I think it had 4 or 5 feet of
That
vert.
thing was
Easy.
nice.
Yeah.
It was just round.
When
and
you say it
just-
was 13 feet, 14,
Probably at
13?
least.
I think
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah,
13 feet.
I think it was
Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember.
Nobody
just-
rode that thing.
Yeah, I rode it. I mean, I tried it just to
Yeah.
skate it and stuff, and
Just
I was
for
just,
the-
did a couple wheelers in it. I was like, I'm out of here.
This thing's terrible.
Yeah, it was just too little. I mean, it was too tight.
Yeah, it was-
You
it
couldn't. You
was
didn't have enough
tiny.
time to
It was
push
like a-
to go.
It was like a half pipe capsule type thing, and they just tilted it like the
Yeah.
turning point ramp, and they turned it up
Yeah.
on its end.
What happened here?
That's
Yeah.
like Skatopia.
Oh
that
my
little
God.
pool.
Yeah.
You ever skate that little pool where the fence
little pond
the
thing.
fence was,
right
like,
up
right-
against it. Yeah. Yeah, but I you know what, I did skate that in a contest actually. Whatever the skate park thing was, Aspo, and I skated that thing, and it was there was 3 different things we had to skate there. I can't remember what it was, but the half pipe was, that thing was just awesome.
The
I
half
love
pipe,
that thing.
that pool, and the only other thing was the street course.
Yeah. Oh no, they had like
A bank. It
they
was
had
a
the
bank.
bank thing. Yeah, I think that's what we had that we skated too.
That's
Because every
crazy.
time we went to some skate park, we had 3 that we had to do. So anyway, but
That's rad.
yeah. All right. So that was fun. Okay, because I got a really good picture of you at Skatopia. Yeah, I think you know what.
Somebody sent me that picture. I want to say it was Chuck
Holtz?
C&D. Chuck and
Oh,
Dunn.
really?
Yeah.
Chuck Dunn.
Somebody sent me
Chuck
that picture.
Dunn.
I don't even know who it was, and then I looked at it and I go, man.
Did you ever write for Chuck?
I did.
Did you?
That was the first team. That was the first guy I've ever wrote for.
Wow.
Was Chuck.
Yeah, man.
He came in. He goes, "Hey, I want to give you some wheels. You want to try them out?" I'm like,
my dad took a lot of pictures of Lonnie and I at the runway, and he was, I think you were 12 at the time, and he's doing airs out of the runway bowl. You know, he was only 12.
That's huge.
with
And
C&D wheels
you
on
see
it.
C&D stickers on the bottom of the
I had
board.
C&Ds all over the bottom of my board.
Wow, I'm gonna have to ask Chuck about. I talk to Chuck all the time. Yeah, I love that guy. Yeah, he's still running his shop and he's still doing his thing. Oh, okay. Well, that picture right there people can see right here.
Yeah.
That was at the contest you won, Lonnie.
That's funny.
First place.
Yeah, CBS.
Look at that. You know, I was gonna say, like, you had beautiful hair back then.
I
man.
did a trick on that contest that I never did right before the end of my run. Remember I did that alley-oop rock and roll?
Oh wow.
I did an alley-oop rock and roll slide. Never did it in my life. But I said, I got to do something else to be Howard. And I was like, oh, here it goes. Here it goes. Because, I mean...
Yeah, you guys got 1 and 2 in that.
Yeah, I would.
First and second.
Everyone
place
thought
on
for
that
sure that I would win.
one. Yeah.
He hated
Everyone
me.
said, "Oh, Lonnie's gonna win. Howard's gonna win, so Lonnie's gonna take second." They already had it figured out.
Yeah.
But then later on, I went and read about that Lonnie was in the lead from the beginning, even the first part of the contest. So
He got the little guy points. You remember
Well, I
those?
mean, whatever he got, he was, you know.
He was doing 3-foot frontside airs out
like
of there too.
any
so.
day he could be the best, I could
Yeah.
be the best, you know, and whatever the judges saw, that's what they saw, and it didn't matter as long as we took first and second. That's the only
My
thing
height
that
was a
mattered.
little better than his.
Well, wait a minute. You got to remember, yeah. You got to remember.
Look at
that
my eyes in
difference
that
was like-
picture.
the difference was about $800 though.
No, he got 1,000, I got 500.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah.
it was like $2,000.
What year was that?
78.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's about,
that was
what's that word? Like
like
15,000 now?
April.
I don't know,
Right.
something like that. No,
Right.
it was in November.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, huh?
No
Because the
way.
Hester series was over. Everything was over. Is at the end of the year.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
All the Sims guys were there.
Yeah, they are. All the good ones. Yeah, that's weird because I went. I thought it was 78 was Oxnard, and I remember that was like I think that was in like June or July or August. I don't remember the date. I just remember the magazine came out was in December. I think it was 78, and that was the first time I was ever.
So
talked
the
about,
magazine for the runway for that contest came out in '79.
Yeah,
like
oh,
early
did it?
'79. Yeah, because the contest was in November, so the magazine comes
Yeah,
out
okay.
like
So
2
then
months
it was.
later.
So it was after Oxnard then.
Oh yeah.
Damn. Oh.
Was Oxnard after this Hester series was over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I thought that was actually before, because that's when CBS filmed that thing. Like, that was huge for skateboarding.
Yeah.
Even
was
though
a
it
big
came out the
contest.
next year. Yeah, I know.
Because it was the
a lot of
first
people that-
nationally televised
Yeah.
vert contest because it was it was new, and they had like high jump freestyle, which
Yeah,
Ty
man.
Page was in, and the whole freeformer team did really good in that, and then they had bank slalom.
Which
race.
you got.
I didn't get to
Oh,
be
no,
in
you
that
weren't
one.
in that one.
That was the
That's right,
Pepsi
you were in the
challenge,
next
and
one.
then they had bank freestyle, and then they had the bowl, and then they had the full pipe at Steve South Bay Super
Yeah.
Bowl. Yeah.
They had everything back then.
It was like the X Games.
Do you remember? And
kinda
now,
in
and
a
now,
way.
yeah, exactly. But now they basically have vert and street
That's it.
contest.
No racing.
Yeah,
no,
there's
you know.
like, and we got to bring back like high jumping or barrel jumping.
Yeah, all of that. I don't know why they don't
For
do
God's
that.
sakes, freestyle, man.
Well, they still
I
have
don't think
slalom.
Lonnie's going to be signing up for the barrel jumping.
Yeah, I can't jump. Yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, that's hilarious. But no, I mean, I remember those contests back then. I remember even reading up on it and just looking. I mean, I actually wrote it down because I was just like, there was like 50 different, there was like so many different, God, like, just, what am I going to try to say?
Contest?
Categories.
Oh,
Categories, and I know, here we go. I wrote it down over here. It's 2 pages over, so forgive me.
Okay.
But they had bull riding, bank slalom, bank freestyle, which I don't even know what it is. What's bank freestyle?
Do a lot of slides and 360s.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stacy Peralta.
That's a Stacy Peralta.
Stacy Peralta,
that was
Mike
me.
Reed were really good at it.
Okay.
The hand down, long kick turns.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Hair
that's
blowing.
Right. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
You know.
The wind. Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There was high jump, full pipe, half pipe, men's vertical ramp skating, which I thought was something else. There was the longest carve.
Longest car.
We had high air.
Most wheelers.
We had freestyle, most wheelers, barrel jumping, best trick, and that's a lot of different categories for skateboarding. And now we're
Right.
down to 2. So all that other stuff just went away.
Right.
Anyway, okay. All right, well, I'm going to get started here.
Maybe we should get Henry to start it up again.
Yeah, right? Do you talk to Henry much?
No, only when we saw him at the Elgatos.
Yeah, okay. No, that's
That's 2
coming.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was at the music thing on the roof.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, I talked to him about Catalina.
Where did he move? He bought a trailer or something?
I don't know. I don't know where he's at now. I didn't ask him.
Howard's all, where did he move? He bought a trailer.
No,
Something like
He
that.
bought a mountain is what he
Yeah,
bought.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he bought a mountain.
Yeah.
And then he was...
Put a
he
trailer on it.
Yeah, he put a trailer on it because he was drilling for water. That was the last thing I knew. He was
Yeah.
trying to get water on it.
Monstrous, man.
Yeah.
Same here.
So,
Huge.
anyway, but I think it was like 22 acres or something, and it was a whole mountain, man. It was just like...
Well, we should do the
No,
Hester 3.
Right? Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah, bring it back. What?
Bring it
And then this time we just sit back and watch. Like,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Howard. Yeah, what? I can't hear you.
It'd be great to see the young guys do like a 4 contest pool series again.
Yeah, 5. 5.
No,
Five
it'd be
pools,
great to
yeah.
see him do all those things. Wheeler, longest cars, they do like, and no 50-50s because
They can do it on mid-tracks.
right?
Road Rider wheels. All right, man.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. So I know we're the same age. Lonnie, you're what? 5 years younger?
5 years.
57.
50. Okay, 57. That's why you're still out ripping then all the time.
Shoot,
'Cause
I wouldn't say that. I know how to knee slide. I can knee slide
Good
really
at bailing.
well. I'm good at bailing.
Hey, I see pictures. Are those all posed?
Unfortunately, none of the guys that take pictures of me keeps the ones I bail, and I'm like, oh, that would have been cool. I swear it looked good.
Yeah. Be almost like 50% of the pictures I think Jay Adams had out there. If you look at them, 50% are like bail shots, but they're rad.
It's so crazy, the ones you see, like when I look back at old magazines and I was like, oh, that's a bell.
Yeah. I know somebody keeps posting a bail shot of me at Oasis doing my front side arrow with a channel, but it's like 4.5 feet up. My front foot's coming off. My back foot's coming off. Yeah, there's no way I'm making that. You get it? So then I had to post up another one. Billy Ruff took them, and then I posted up the one. I'm like, okay, I made this one. Because I hate having bail shots.
Right?
It's just that's the worst thing for me. I
Yeah.
can't stand that.
That's
stuff.
that's like me. My thing is like, if I build, I don't even want to see it.
Yeah. I
Don't
know.
worry, I'll make it. Hold on.
Oh wait a minute! You know what? Now that I'm older, it's even cool for a bail shot.
Not
Just the
even-
fact that hey, I was there.
Oh.
I'll leave it up to you to think if I made it or not.
Yeah, we
But-
recently made that S1 video, and then I was doing Feebles over the love seat, and then I bailed a couple times, and then he was like, "You want to do that board slide around the square?" And I go, "I got this. I'll make this one."
That's funny. What did we used to call the feeble back in the day? That's kind of the new school terminology, man.
A bail. That's,
You
like,
know what
the
I
way I
mean?
look at it
Like-
when I learned it was like, man, this is like a half chuck 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, like I didn't make both of my chucks on, so let me just throw one up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but another thing about a lot of those bail shots and anything, because back then nobody really had cameras except for professional photographers, so you would take any picture, really.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just to
8mm film.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
see it would be like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean,
At least I could see it again, because
You know how expensive film was back then?
Oh, yeah.
Those
Right?
guys, I can't take pictures of you. I don't have the money to buy film today. Like, oh shoot, man. I know I had friends of mine that we in the 10th grade, so I think I was 15. I took a photography class just so I could use the dark room and get cheap film and everything else. And then I took my buddies down to take pictures of me. I was like, that was the only way you could afford to do it,
Brad.
So, anyway, all right. So, Howard, you started off skating on your knees at 10. What about you, Lonnie? When did you start? Because you got good really fast.
I think I didn't skate as long as he did because it was like shown to me like later. I mean, I was probably about, I don't know, maybe 10.
Yeah, well, it had been like
10.
I mean, you turned pro at 13.
Right.
Right.
And I've only been skating a couple years, right? Before, when I met him, I was learning how to skate.
Yeah.
And I used to watch him skate and
I'd already been skating quite a while, on those janky ramps with the
of
plywood
course.
like that.
Yeah.
And I was 5 years
Yeah.
older, so I'd already been riding quite a bit. And then we met at the runway. When the runway opened, that's when we really had a place that we could get to because we didn't have a car.
Right.
So we could walk to the runway. He lived like probably 1,000 feet from the runway.
I lived a block from there.
So I lived about 2 miles away, 3 miles away. So I could walk there pretty quickly, and we were there every day. So that's how we progressed so quickly. I'm sure whatever skate park it was you lived by,
man, I had
once it opened, that's when you progressed so much because you could ride it all the time.
Well, it was weird because when I did it, it was I started out at Carlsbad, which was just nothing but a pump track
Moguls.
basically. Yeah,
a
it was all
bunch of
moguls and stuff.
I
And
never rode that.
you got to watch some cool guys do some flips out of the bowl. That was like the wow.
Oh yeah, they had that snake runs, right?
Yeah, it was all
Weren't
like
they
little
snake
snake
runs?
runs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a big snake run.
In the back.
Yeah.
The runway had a big snake run with a big bowl in it where if you weren't hauling ass, you weren't making it out. That's how big the end
You
of
had
the
to
bowl
run
was.
out.
Oh.
You had to climb out because
You had to
they're at
climb
least
out.
12 feet deep.
Yeah.
And people were coming down constantly, so you better get out of the way. You get run over.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And I
right.
think that's why Lonnie and I progressed so big and so quickly because it had the bank slalom, which is 12-foot walls. It was big. All the snake runs were big, and then the bowl was 17 feet. So if you rode a 17-foot bowl, when you went and rode a 10-foot or a 9-foot, it was small compared.
If you could ride that, you could ride anything.
You could ride
in other words.
anything, yeah.
Riding guys who grew up in the big bowls too. Those guys are all power skaters.
Yeah, like Orton riding a Paramount.
Yeah, and look at Elba.
Yeah,
those
Salva.
guys.
The
Yeah,
15
Salva,
footer.
Malva, both of them, man.
Yeah.
They were doing.
Miller.
Yeah, all those guys, and they all became like super power skaters. But Eddie Elguera, at Colton. I mean, he had a 13-foot bowl, I think, that one bowl.
It was big.
But it had no vert in it. It had like
Right.
an inch of vert maybe at the top of it, man. And
Never rode it.
Oh,
Well, that's why
yeah.
he's so good at lip tricks.
I know.
He
I know.
did.
That's it. That's why.
Hey, no
You
bad
know.
thing on you, Eddie.
No,
we
no, I
we
mean,
love
it's-
you, Eddie.
Yeah, no, it's true though. I mean,
Yeah.
Eddie was he was way more technical than everybody.
He was.
Yeah, and all the flip tricks and everything that he did, and I think that had a lot to do with it. But Eddie had Colton skate park. I mean, the snake run there was incredible too. That was super fun because it was like 8 foot and it almost went to like vert almost on in the end of it. It was a lot of fun. But that's how I kind of look at things. I grew up, like you asked me about my skate park and stuff, and it was like there. It was Carlsbad, which was whatever. And then Home Avenue, which is exactly like the snake runs that you guys rode. And bowls were all like
Right.
12 feet deep, and if you weren't going, you always ended up taking a kid out somewhere.
Right.
I don't care if you're in the red, the blue, or the yellow thing. Bowl. That's the way it was. And then I think I started progressing the most is when this guy there was a backyard pool. It's called the Hamul Pool. It's about 30 miles from my house. And, burned out house out in the boonies. And after school, we'd go there and skate it. And but I remember the first time I went in there, this guy just was sat there and he was like, hey, if you can't hit tile, you're out. And I'd never skated a pool before. It was my first pool. And, man, I tell you, my first run, I tried so hard to hit tile. And I went right over the light and I missed tile by about 8 inches maybe, And the guy threw me out of the pool, and I was like, that's bullshit. I just drove all this way, and I'm getting thrown out by some big guy, The guy, I remember asking him, what's your name? He goes, Jim Baker. And I was like, all right, man. And went back the next day, practiced, and then
That name sounds familiar, Jim Baker.
yeah, just kept going, just kept going, and then Spring Valley opened up, and then I learned every trick in like a week and a half. I mean, I don't care. It was frontside tail taps, backside, tail blocks, roll-ins, like everything, just boom.
It's a good pool.
And then I remember going back to Hamul, and he was there, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Ugh, can't you tell you're out?" I go, "Oh, no worries, man." So I walked up to the top of that bowl, and I did an elevator drop, which nobody did back then. And I dropped in, and I said, "Well, you can't do an elevator drop, man. You should be out of the pool now." And that guy, man, wanted to take a swing at me. I just know it.
Nice.
Right? And then I was doing front side and backside grinds. We put a little doll head up, you remember, like, and doing that kind of stupid stuff. And
Yeah.
we would just grind the doll away front side. Well, you can't do a front side grind, man. Maybe you shouldn't be in the pool.
There you go.
I was being a total smart ass. And finally, I left. And then, like, about a week later, he showed up to Spring Valley. And by that time, I was doing front side airs and backside airs. And this guy was just like, "Who are you, man?" Like, it was pretty.
That's kind of like what we said when we seen Dave at
know.
Yeah.
Who is
Who
this
is
guy?
Who is this
guy?
Damn.
No, I mean, I did push myself, and I had a lot of really good. There was a lot of good kids that came from Spring Valley. That park was the best park I can say overall. Everything in that thing was so skatable and so perfect. Other than the keyhole, okay, because that had that big kink on the right side, but everything else in that place was perfect.
Only rode it once.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Out
that's
of
true.
everybody that came out of that Spring Valley,
Yeah.
how do you think you're on top of all of them? Just from the tricks you did, I don't know. You might name a couple names, and I might have to be on their bad side.
No, man. Like, of course you had all the GNS guys.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there was like all these Grom kids. That's who I hung out with. I never. Huh?
Duncan was one of those
Yeah,
moms
yeah.
that came out of Spring Valley.
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
Double
that's
D was.
why I said he's
Yeah.
pretty much above all the ones
But-
that came
but-
out of that
but
park.
No, okay, so like all the GNS guys hung with the GNS guys, and when I came in there, I tried so hard to get on GNS, and they just deuced me like, "We don't want you, man." And I was
I
like,
wanted to be on GNS
Who
so
was
bad.
on
Yeah.
GNS?
Martinez and Pineapple and Steve Cathy, and those were like the three main, and then Mark Schmidt, and
I love all those guys that
Yeah.
you're saying, but
yeah.
I still think
No,
you were on top of those
well,
guys.
no, but the
Hey,
thing about
I
it is,
skate. I ride skateboards.
I know.
My eyes
Yeah.
seen a little different than
Yeah. Okay.
GNS guys' eyes did.
No, the GNS guys. I mean, like I said, I tried so hard to get on that team, and I never could get on. So I was like, whatever. And I was going to go right for Bonsai, and then, that got shot down. Lane Oaks was like, "I ride for Bonsai. You're not going to ride for Bonsai. You're going to get a real team." I'm like, okay.
Lane
So,
Oaks.
yeah.
That's another guy. Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to get Lumpy on here too, man.
Lumpy.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
rad.
I love that. I love Lane.
Him
Like,
and, what
he and
was
I
this
were-
girl's
He
name?
and I were the two super tight.
Leilani.
Oh my God, yeah.
Right?
Kiabu.
Lane Oaks
Yeah.
and Kiabu, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that
I've
was-
seen them a while back. I can't
But-
remember where.
Okay, well, you didn't see Leilani.
El Gato.
Yeah, you didn't see Leilani. You
No.
saw Claudette. Yeah, his wife
Oh.
of 40 years.
Oh, okay. It wasn't her then.
Leilani was Spring Valley friend
Yeah.
that Lane would pick up and take to the park. So, anyway.
You must be trying to stay on GNS's good side.
Who, me?
Yeah, because I
No.
still think.
I just don't want to get killed
Come
by...
on, speak up.
Hey, I don't want to get killed by Claudette, man. I love her dearly, okay?
Oh,
And
sure.
anyway, yeah, because when we were kids, I always hung out with Lane, because he always wanted to get on GNS too, and he couldn't get on. So, and
I
Doug
don't
Barker
understand.
was the other one that was there all the time that ripped hard, and he never got on GNS either.
I was about to say, he skated
So-
for GNS too?
Yeah, no, he didn't. He rode for going and going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember at
So, I
Spring
think,
Valley, he had the Goling shirt when
Yeah.
he was riding.
yeah,
I rode
And-
for
and-
going.
yeah. So,
Yeah, a lot of those
You
guys
rode
I
for
didn't
going,
even,
huh?
a lot of those
for
guys I
life,
didn't even
man.
know who they were.
Right.
When I went to Spring Valley, like I didn't know who Doug was.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys, because it was, it was the first pro contest ever.
Yeah, well, Doug was like, you know what, man? Like, I always saw that guy, kind of like, he seemed like he was 6'10"
Doug
when I
Barker?
was there. Yeah,
Oh,
because he's been exactly the same since like
He still
I don't
looks
know.
the same.
He looks like
I
he does,
know,
man.
he
He
does.
does.
I trip out on
I
that.
know, and but you know, I used to see Doug in the lineup. You know, like I'd be skating, I'd look up like, oh, there's Doug Park. You know, and I know, oh, I gotta do better than him. Like that's how I thought, man. I was messed up. There's something wrong with me, but I was, and everybody always accused me of being too competitive. But I just, you know, it's just the way I am. I can't help it. I don't know, but anyway. All right, well, we've been going for 30 minutes, and I haven't even started, so this is
That's
awesome.
not true. I got you started here.
Yeah,
haven't
you
got your
tried to
pictures
get me
yet.
started, bro, but
And you've been back here.
I
so
hate to
it's all
say
good.
it, but yeah. Anyway, all right, so
It's hard to stay on
I gotta-
point when there's so
yeah,
much to talk
I
about.
know. I mean, we could go on for hours, no problem. But all right, so you guys started taking off, and I kind of got early things. Like, who did you guys look up to? Like, there wasn't a lot of pros that were in there. I mean, in '78, you come on the scene at 13. You win your first contest like that. Was that your first contest, or no? You weren't at Spring Valley.
No.
Yeah. So was that like your first contest there?
First contest was Newark.
Oh,
Yeah,
his was.
was
Okay,
Newark,
Newark.
yeah.
Okay. And you got like 11th or 20th. I can't remember.
22nd.
22nd? Yeah,
20
somewhere in
something.
there. Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
I remember reading it, and I was like,
And that was one of the contests, my first one that I said, oh, I'm not a contest skater.
Yeah.
This blows
Yeah.
and everything. And I mean, as far as everybody could simply say, Shogo Kubo was my mentor. Or
Okay.
nowadays, Hasoi, because
Yeah.
style and everything, right?
Yeah.
And being Asian, Asians usually look up to another Asian, right?
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
Well, I skated with this guy,
Yeah.
so that's all I knew
Okay.
was this guy.
Yeah. Well, you're Asian.
I used to
aren't you?
be like his. I used to be like his tag along, his shadow, and so everybody always said, "Hey, where's Howard?"
Yeah.
And then and everybody seen him. They go, "Hey, where's Lonnie?"
Lonnie, yeah.
And we're like, "What?"
Well, that's why it was funny, because when I called you guys up, you know, like I talked to you first actually, and because I ran into him at the basic pool party.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and that was the first time I said, "Man, I gotta get you on the show." You know, I'd love to talk, and you know, because we've got some like Smith pads and everything when we were doing it together, and then I was first thing I was like, so you know, I had to ask, "Where's Howard?" No, how's Howard? I didn't say where. I said how, because I know you guys are still talking and stuff. Because I
Yeah,
see Instagram
totally.
and stuff, and you know, I'm friends with you guys on all that stuff. So that's why I always see you guys.
Well, it's the
doing
same.
stuff.
There was a lot of duos back then. There was
Oh, yeah.
Miller and Valdez, Hood and Hiromoto, and then Alva and Adams. Even
Yep.
though maybe they weren't the best of friends, but you always associated those two guys together.
Who? Which
One
two?
was the other.
Which
one.
two?
Alva and Adams.
Oh, you don't think they were good friends?
Well, I mean, they were friends, but you know, they weren't on the same team. You know, after
Oh yeah, after the money came out.
yeah,
and-
people kind
yeah.
of you know, same with Bobby and Daryl. You know, they
Yeah.
were both on Powerflex, and then they were both on Kanoa.
Wow.
So you have
Did they
your
both go
duos.
follow each other, huh?
And yeah, some people did.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird because I know talking to Daryl last week and stuff, I forgot that they followed each other on like that, or if one pulled the other one
It's
with
just
them.
the
or-
way it turned out, I guess.
Yeah,
I
because-
don't know how they both got on Kanoa.
Yeah, because you know when they were on Kanoa, you and Bobby went to Japan
Yeah.
for your tour.
hmm
And I know Daryl was telling me, like, he's like, man, I was really hurt I didn't get to go on that, you know?
Do you
And he
remember
just
that
told me
when we
that.
went to Japan?
Of course, I remember because I didn't get to go.
I used to smoke weed, and I was like, "How am I gonna get weed there?" Right? So I rolled all like about 20 something joints, stuck it in a cigarette pack, and milled it, and put it back inside of a Marlboro like thing,
Yeah.
right?
Garden, yeah.
Carton, and glued it back shut and put it in my luggage, right? And it made it, and I was so happy when I got to the room. I was like, "Oh shit, I did it!" That was stupid, right? But I did it.
You know, I missed you in Japan.
Mm.
I was going to high school in Japan when you came over, and we had to go play Seoul All-American High School in baseball, and that's why I missed you.
Gnarly. We
Yeah.
met.
And had you seen me, you would have had no worries on that action.
We had a trippy flight out there, and the whole trip was just crazy trippy, especially what we had to skate.
Oh yeah, it was,
We skated a park on a building.
That was 13 stories up.
Yeah,
And
then
it had safety netting on it, and
Yeah.
your boards would go over the net and crash down. And my board went through the rear window of a car, and I didn't retrieve my board.
gnarly. They got Aki Akiyama, which is a well-known skateboarder back
Yeah,
in
he's
Japan.
like he was
Aki's
like the
still
very
rad.
beginning of
Yeah.
Japanese skating.
I think
wasn't
he
it?
owns like a restaurant now or something. But, anyways, he took us to this park. We were skating, and everybody's like foot plant, and there's this bowl with the craziest thing.
Wasn't it fiberglass or?
It was fiberglass.
It was
It
fiberglass.
was fiberglass.
It was so slippery.
There's a ledge like about. It had to be like maybe 10, 12 inches, and then there's that netting, and they're like foot plant. So I'm going in this bowl, and then mind me, I'm Japanese, but I don't speak Japanese. I had this little translator, was a little white kid, so they would talk to me in Japanese, and then I'd look at him, and then he'd tell me what they said, and then they'd laugh. And in my mind, I was like a little punk, a little bully, whatever you want to call it. But he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
I was the one that had a little chip on my shoulder always. So I'd be like,
Is it because you got the Napoleon thing?
yeah,
going?
there you go. I was like,
No, he's just a little gangster. That's all.
yeah, I was always like, hey, I had brothers that used to pound the shit out of me. So
Yeah, I get
it
it.
was either that or that. But yeah.
Same thing at the runway. He'd go around and just punk everybody at the park and he was a regulator.
Run for you.
No, he just, like, if someone got out of line or
Yeah.
if they got in the way, hey,
Yeah.
you,
Yeah,
get out of the way.
Yeah.
You know, that was Lonnie.
yeah. That's funny.
I was that guy that if you didn't, I'm shooting my board at this guy. Watch. Saw. Oh, my bad.
Should have been lucky. Oh, my fault.
Yeah.
So Howard, did you have anybody that you looked up to, like a Mike Weed kind of guy, or
Just
like
the guys
anybody?
in the magazines, that you would see, Of course, there
Okay.
was the Dogtown articles, and, you'd see Alvin Adams and think, okay, that's, Steve Cathy and Pineapple. Just people that you would see in the magazine, the G&S crew. Steve Olson was one. And then that didn't last very long because, the magazine came out, in 75, 76?
76, I think. Well, I mean, first time was like 65.
No, but I
But
mean
then
the
the
second
rebirth
time.
of it, yeah, it was like,
when
I
you
think
saw Greg
It was
Weaver.
Yeah.
It was late. It was a quarter.
Like
It was
75.
quarterly in 75.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you saw Greg Weaver on the cover, and you
Yeah.
thought, "Wow!" And then Steve doing that famous
Yeah,
thing at
Christie.
La Costa and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah. So you emulated those guys and did all that, but then it really came out when the Hester series hit. That's when it was a contest and it was in a pool, so you figured out who was really that good and who wasn't. Right? The cameras
absolutely.
are there, and
Yeah.
either you did good in the contest or you didn't.
Right.
So it weeded out who was really
Yeah.
good at a pool. Because you could do a wheeler and the guy could take a picture and it could be a bail shot,
Yeah.
and then you see it in the magazine and think, wow, that guy's really good.
Because he's just in the magazine.
Because he was in the magazine.
Yeah. Well, I was just,
We got a picture of Howard doing a frontside grind. Howard used to have an afro.
That's Spring Valley right there.
No, that's Newark.
No, that's Spring Valley.
That's Newark.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's Newark.
Oh, that is Newark.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Looks a lot like Colorado. That was the other one I thought might have been Colorado.
No, you just threw stickers
Because
on the
they
bottom.
had the Pepsi ramp tour.
Well, they had the 360, the 360 wear.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
our shorts were.
They had those
Made by that.
padded helmets.
Yeah, all that.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And I liked Pepsi at the time. I don't know why.
That's a great photograph.
Now I'm riding yo-yos and Gull Wings, the Phoenix.
Ah.
I'd gotten a set of trucks from Fausto in the parking lot. I just didn't put them on because I didn't want to switch trucks right in the middle of the
Right.
contest.
Would Fausto say, "Oh, we don't give Japs trucks"? What did he say to me?
I don't know. I
He
wasn't.
said some shit like that, and I'm like, yeah. And I ride indies now.
That was a good contest.
So it cracks me
How'd you
up.
do there? I don't.
Fourth.
Fourth place.
Yeah. It's the first time I placed in one of the contests.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
month was that? Was it May or
Probably. I mean, I know Hester 1 was over.
it may have been in June, so I was 18 at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty close to that time.
Yep.
So you got to back everything up. And the magazines are.
So it was the first time I made one of the cuts. So in Spring Valley and Upland, I rode the first run of what they do 64.
60-second or 22
No, when
minute
they
runs
did the
or
first.
what do you
No,
mean?
when they did the first before the first cut.
Oh, okay, no.
Everybody
shoot,
would run.
like 10.
I think there were
I think they
64
did-
people.
No, there
Yeah.
was 64. There was 64 in that.
No, but I mean the
And
next.
then they would cut it
was
to
like,
32, then
Oh.
16, 8, and then the final.
Oh shoot, okay.
Yeah.
I think everyone was a little different.
So that was the first time I heard my name called to make the next round, and I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, oh my god, because the Spring Valley, none of the Dogtown or Z Boys were there, and I didn't understand why. I thought, okay, I'm going to this pro contest, and I'm going to skate against Alva and Adams and Shogo and everyone, and they weren't there, and I didn't understand why. And I didn't know. I was just a kid that.
They were out surfing.
Well, wherever they were. I just went pro, and I thought, wow, this is going to be awesome. Everyone's going to be there, and a lot of people weren't. I didn't know. Maybe it's because their sponsors didn't pay the entry fee or whatever reason. Then when we went to Upland, same thing. I thought, this is it. I'm going to skate against Alva or whoever would be there, and they weren't there then. I didn't understand why. So then when we went to Newark, that's when they were all there. Everybody was in that contest. Biniak, all the Z Boys, Wilson and Plumer and Shogo was there. Jay was there. Tony, and I was so happy to skate against those guys. And I thought, well, I'm probably not going to make the final or whatever. And then when they called my name, and then they did the run of 32, and I made that, and I was just shocked. First time I did well in the contest, and then they went to the cut of 16. And then they'd announce the names for the next round, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I made that too. And, a lot of people didn't make it, and you're thinking, wow, I just outplaced all these people that I couldn't believe it. And then it went to the 16 to the 8, and I made the final 8, and I was just, oh my gosh. And so, in a contest like that, the energy was just shocking, because everyone's just so intense. Salva and just everybody, Blackheart was ripping, and
Yeah.
it was just shocking to make it to the top 8. So then they did the next run, and it was the final 4, and they announced the final, and they announced my name, and I was just like, I couldn't believe it. But you didn't have time to really think, because it's like, go, you got to get your stuff and get over there and skate. And I was just standing there going, oh my gosh, I just outplaced Alva and all the people that you look in the magazine. It was the first time that I really I'd ever made a final.
So it was the first time you were in the magazine too.
Yeah, well, no, the one shot of me in the bank slalom, the Pepsi challenge.
Yeah,
that
okay.
was
I was just going to get to that, but I haven't gotten there yet.
So then, did the final, and that was it. And Bobby did the invert, and Blackheart was just grinding the coping like so hard. And
Yeah, doing
it
roll-ins.
was like 106 degrees.
He was
It
almost doing
so,
like, not even roll-ins, almost like disaster, like just
lap ins.
no, like just acid drop ins.
Yeah, that. Too.
Yeah, he was just. Yeah, Blackheart was just. It
Oh,
was fun to watch.
He was,
No
he was
doubt,
so
man.
strong and
Yeah.
so powerful.
Yeah.
And it was a really amazing contest. The crowd was going crazy, and to make a top 4 was.
And you made top 4, and you made what? $400?
It's 125.
$125. Yeah, you
Because
killed
first
it,
place
man.
was 1,000, then
Yeah.
500, then 250, and then 125.
Man, they were generous to us.
Yeah. That was good money though. If you really think of like you said in today's money,
Today's money,
that's probably 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, more than that.
Well,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
like back
yeah,
then.
now with inflation,
With inflation.
Yeah.
36% right now.
back then you get a cheeseburger for a quarter.
Right. You got
Well,
change back from your
How
money.
many sponsors today like pay everybody monthly, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like back then, at least we got paid monthly. It was like a job.
Yeah, it was like at that contest. Before that contest, nobody even gave away product. You had to go to your local skate shop to get your bearings and your boards and whatever. And whoever sponsored you would give you a little bit,
Yeah.
right? You didn't get free shoes. You didn't get free socks and shirts and clothing.
Oh man.
They would hand you a little bit, and then so if independent showed up, and And I saw everybody running out in the parking lot, and I was like watching. Why is everybody running out there?
Fausto with his trench
And
coat.
so Fausto opened his trunk,
and his Ray-Bans on.
and so people were out there getting $100.
trucks on the inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's getting. Some people got $100 bills,
Yeah.
and they came back with these shirts, and I'm looking at them, going, "What is independent?"
Mhm.
So I said, "The heck with it, I'm going out there too." So I went out there, and I got a set of trucks from Fausto and a shirt, and I didn't ride that, didn't use it that contest, but at Big O I was riding for Indy, and so that's the first time where a company was at the contest giving away free stuff to whoever wanted it, and it was just like weird. Why are they giving away free stuff?
Well, that was Blackheart that came up with that design, and basically took a Bennett truck
Yeah,
and flipped it.
Yeah.
So I mean, Bennettts were great trucks. They just broke. I don't know anything wrong with
Right.
them. Sorry, Mr. Bennett, but yeah, those trucks were horrible.
Yeah, they were.
But
They
eventually-
didn't grind well either.
No.
Yeah, it was so square.
Yeah, it was so
hang
square.
up.
But they were the right angles.
Oh yeah, they were.
That was the thing, the angles.
And when they came out with the Vector, they finally, made the metal base plate. But
Yeah.
then it was too late by then.
Yeah,
Everybody went to Indy, and Tracker was still doing good.
yeah.
Goldwing.
Wing.
Yeah.
Goldwings are good.
I
Hey
was a
man,
Goldwing.
I when I got sponsored, I got a Sims board. He gave me a board with trackers on it and Sims, whatever snakes, and I rode it for the first time I went to the park, and then I ran into the Goldwing guys, and then they were like, "We want you to ride for us."
That's what
I'm
happened
like,
to me.
All right, whatever. You give me trucks, okay, I'll take trucks, because I didn't know if I was ever going to get another pair of trackers again, and that was it, man. I rode Goldwings ever since, and that
That's
was it.
right. You did ride Goldwings.
Yeah, I did. So Lonnie, you
Goldwings
told me kind of a funny story about Del Mar. And,
Del Mar.
Yeah, with Ty. Getting a little upset. Ty Page.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh.
Page? At
That
Del
was
Mar?
Howard.
Wasn't it?
That was Howard.
Oh, was you? Oh, okay, Howard. What do you remember about that?
It was Lonnie was there. It was, they went to Del Mar, and you've seen it in the documentary where you had the two different styles. You had the freestyle handstand.
Like regular, real freestyle stuff.
Yeah, and that's just what the way things were at the time.
Right.
Was
Del Mar freestyle contest.
Oh.
and
It just doesn't have music in it, does it?
Uh-uh.
All right.
so
It's all music.
that was a
It's not
change.
broadcasting.
Yeah, okay.
That's just
Okay.
TV.
Yeah, that was a changing of the guard where people went from like a surf style, the standard freestyle where you did handstands and nose wheelies, and then
Kick
So-
flips and everything.
so
yeah.
that things were changing a lot at the time. People would just tic-tacking down the sidewalk. You were a professional, and then the park started opening, and so people started doing different things. They started doing aerials and grinds, which you couldn't do in freestyle. So Ty basically, in the documentary, if you watch it, he was pretty, the way the judging went down, and they said to Shogo that wasn't skateboarding what they were doing, and then so they had a different style. They didn't do freestyle; they were surfers, so they wanted to emulate Larry Bertelman. So that's what they were doing. And so you remember Ty invited us over to this backyard ramp, and
Oh, that
he-
round thing.
yeah, there was
No flat bottom.
it was the first time I seen a well-made quality, construction backyard ramp, and it was just a U, but it was a really nice ramp. How big was it? It was like 10
Oh
foot.
no, but it had no top.
It-
Yeah.
and,
It
it,
was just-
and it was painted black,
Mhm.
and I don't really never had talked to Ty much before that, and he knew that we all skated the runway. That was Ty's pretty much home park too, and he was the first person to get air, decent air out of that bowl, So he invited us over, and the ramp was black, and it had a big shaka on the ramp painted in red, and it had blood dripping off of had claws on the shaka, and he basically invited us over there to join in a
Cult,
a cult against the Dogtown and Z-Boys, and he asked us, are you in? We're gonna get these guys, and we're gonna take it to them, and I was like, wow, I don't really have anything against these guys, and
Come on,
you know,
Lonnie, let's
I
go.
mean, I wanted to beat him in contest, so he basically recruited us to get in this fight against the Dogtown and Z-Boys, and we thought about it, and we just wanted to skateboard.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted. And
Well, I mean, did you guys ever get vibed? You guys were like South Bay guys. Like that's right basically down the street from Dogtown.
Well, we grew up
You
in a
know.
neighborhood where
I don't think
Yeah.
they've ever vibed.
nobody vibed
Yeah.
us
We
because
stayed with them guys in the same house
Yeah.
in Phoenix
Oh, okay.
or Tempe. Where was it?
Tempe.
Tempe.
Yeah.
So we knew those guys, and once we came on the scene, that they knew Lonnie won the biggest contest of the year. So what are you going to say to that guy?
Right.
And then
Little punk.
so we basically went from nobodies to in
Respectability.
respectability. So if they wanted to fight, we
Yeah.
were more than willing to fight. But
Yeah.
it didn't come to that ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it happened at some of the parks, and some people got into they may have tried to vibe you, but if they saw hey, I'm not going anywhere, I'm right here. You want to fight? Go ahead. And they'd be like, oh So usually a lot of people don't fight unless it came down to it and they wanted to prove it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had our little down. I think I was the only one in the down south that got messed with by those guys. And I lost the contest because of it, so I was really bummed about that. And I didn't even know what was going on, but
Yeah, that's a
So-
shame how different cliques look at things different. Like, I mean, a lot of
You
people.
guys were in a neutral area.
Yeah, a lot-
As far as clicks went, you guys
Yeah.
weren't. You guys were like everybody liked you doing. They're cool.
Yeah, we were from the South Bay, Carson area, Hermosa Beach, Torrance, and that even to this day, if you mention those cities to a lot of people, they don't even know where it is. They don't even know where the South Bay is.
Yeah.
You
Well-
mentioned Santa Monica, they know where
Yeah.
that is. Maybe Manhattan Beach,
yeah.
but Palos Verdes kind of, it's not a well-known city. You got what was it? That tennis player, the Pete Sampras, and what was the other one? The Tracy girl.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
from Palos Verdes, so that's probably the only time you really hear about Palos
Well,
Verdes.
what about Tiger Woods, man?
Oh yeah, he crashed in Palos Verdes.
Right.
So
He ran his car
the
down
only
a
people that
ditch
really
at
knew about South Bay
65
guys
miles
was
an hour.
you had Kevin Anderson and Mike Smith
Yeah.
and Rocco. Those
Yeah.
they were South Bay guys, but you never really hear people talk about the South Bay in in circles.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think for us, I mean,
We're kind of in the edge of South Bay.
I lived
Right.
in Santa Monica. When I was a little kid, I was brought up in Santa Monica as well. And my sister knew Shogo before
Yeah.
Shogo even really became Shogo Kubo.
Right.
I mean, he was just Shogo. And that met my sister in Japanese school.
Yeah.
And then, they used to hang. That's how I knew Shogo. So when they became Dogtown and everything,
Yeah.
and I already knew them, like they knew who I was because of Shogo. And then,
So Shogo didn't give you your first skateboard?
well, he let me ride his.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Give me that thing back.
Yeah, I wish I did keep that board. Shoot, I mean, but he had an impact on me. He was Japanese and had a stylish, wild. To me, I think a majority of us ride fast and hard.
Yeah.
That's the way you
Like
got to
maybe
do it.
Like Lincoln or something.
Oh yeah, right. And high, high in the air.
I don't know, man. Like him and Sergey, I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean,
But skating actually, when we started skating, I watched Howard. Howard did tricks that nobody did. I mean, he did Indy Christ airs. Come on, who does Indy Christ airs?
How come I never saw a picture of an Indy Christ air, for God's
He's
sake?
got pictures of it.
That's
I have just a few pictures of it because that was '86. Still, there weren't a lot of cameras around at the time.
yeah, no, I know that, man. But
So a lot of things that we did that were crazy.
How come we didn't get that photograph?
Hey, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. I'm screwed up. So, isn't it called a gun air Christ air?
Yeah,
A gun air?
that
A gun
would-
air?
It would be a gun air Christ
Yeah.
air.
Okay.
What, Indy?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
he did them?
No. He was the one who made it up.
Indy Christ air?
No.
No,
A
A
gun
Christ
air.
air?
the gun
gun
air.
Really?
Do you remember the gun air is?
The
Do you know Gunner Hugo?
Gunnar Higo.
Hawago.
Hago.
Hawago.
That's right. He did do them.
He made it
Man,
first,
hit him in the
man.
Dakota Bowl.
Didn't he?
Yeah, man. Like,
And then
Probably
he did
a year
him
and a half
at
before.
Vista.
Did you
Yeah.
ever skate?
Oh, yeah.
with him?
No, I
The
never
original?
did. I saw him at Vista.
Surf
Yeah.
the earth.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I first saw those.
But anyway,
guys.
that's who made it up. So I always correct people for
Wow.
So then I
just
did
to
the,
make sure. But you were seriously
I did the
went down and pulled that
Right,
Yeah.
straight.
and threw it back down.
No, in the air and
Like-
kick his feet over the deck. Like,
Yes. So
How fast do you have to do that?
oh, well, I mean,
Unless
he's
you're
like
doing-
this. He's like this high out, so
Really?
it's
Okay.
like, and I was like,
I mean, that's huge. How long? This was in '86.
I would say more like 88.
88.
So the thing is, that once I learned the
Right.
indie air, then I did indie fast plants, and then I did
Yeah.
indie jars, which is an indie gun
Yeah,
gun jar,
Good job.
and then I did indie antis or gunner antis. So you do it.
Like,
You
did
get,
anybody
Like,
ever
you
do
have any pictures
neon
and stuff?
He used to
yeah,
do this.
yeah.
I mean, Howard, those are all tricks that nobody has done or
Right?
does. Like,
Well, there's
that's
people
a
that
freak
did-
show stuff, man.
That's freak show
That's
shit.
freak show stuff. To grab like that is unnatural.
Oh, no,
Okay.
if you
High
s-
difficulty.
if
you've
Yeah,
seen
difficulty
it-
is what that is.
If you seen it,
Yeah, man,
would
you
be-
got to get me those photos. I have to have
I'm
those
telling
photos,
you,
man.
That's,
They're on my Instagram.
he's the one to drive.
You were the
There's the
researching
one.
this for-
I know, man, I know, I
Grant
know.
Bertain took a bunch of pictures at Stedham's round.
Stedham's round.
We did a
Oh my
photo
God,
session with
I
Jake
had thoughts about
Piasecki,
that for a
Lonnie, and
long
I.
time.
And
They're on there. I
Hey,
actually
Howard.
did a trick that
Howard.
I doubt anyone's ever done. Is a indie nose rocket.
Indy nose rocket.
So you do an indie air and then you
Yeah, I got it.
slide both feet to the nose.
Oh, that's right. He
So
did
it's like
that
a
too.
rocket air.
Do you got video of that? Can you go do one tonight?
No.
Yeah.
I've been
Dude,
trying to
you're,
get.
you're just like you could cement yourself into history.
Well, I've
with
been
these
trying to get
tricks.
somebody to do it. You know, like maybe Bucky or Tony
Yeah.
to do it, and I've mentioned it.
And they just sit there and go, "You're fucking nuts."
Well, no, they just, it was on Instagram. I'd say, hey, could you, do the trick
Dude,
I used to do?
I know, man.
Let's get you at a rep, but let's get them at a rep, but let's video
Because I
it.
remember Tony had a.
We're talking mag or are we talking hawk?
Hawk, where
Okay,
he would
okay.
someone could write in a trick and he would try and do
Oh
it.
my gosh!
Yeah,
I don't know if
remember-
he's gonna do that now, man.
Well, no, maybe not now, but I remember someone wanted him to do the
I bet money on it. He'd
do
do it, though.
a switch
I think so too.
Yeah,
a switch McEgg, and he did it.
a switch
So-
back egg.
Yeah.
No.
So you go up fakey and do a McEgg, and he did it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I bet you. I'd put my money on Tony for that, even with a broken
Well,
leg.
indie nose rocket to them would be pretty simple.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You could get hurt on that shit.
Oh, I'm sure Bucky could do anything.
Bucky
Yeah,
do it.
Bucky could do it.
Yeah.
All that switch stuff he does.
Yeah.
This would be nothing to him. So you just go up and do an
But
indie air.
still, Howard.
Do an indie
like,
air and just slide both feet to the nose.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a rocket. The only problem is you're upside down as you're doing it.
That,
But
that,
the next thing is
that
you
was
gotta
my
pop
motivator.
Up. You got to pop up on that and turn into a Christ, then drop in. Man.
Yeah.
There you go.
that's what I said. When you asked me
Oh
who
my gosh.
motivated me, who's my mentor,
That's just stupid.
he used to
man.
push me. He'd be like, "Oh, you got that, do it."
I mean, that's history book stuff right there. You know, seriously. But anyway, all right. Well, let me ask you this: you guys, rode for Kanoa for the majority of the time? Would you say
Probably 2 years.
2 years?
You know,
Okay.
78, 79.
I think he's probably been sponsored by more people than anybody. But I mean, after Lonnie, 45 years you've been skating, and there's been sponsors. I mean, you put more sponsors. I shouldn't say that way, but
He rode
You
for
know.
Sims for a little while, then
Yeah.
he got on Kanoa, and he rode for Z-Flex, he rode for Madrid. Who else? Flood Control did
Flood
a pro
Control.
model.
yeah.
And then Hassoy.
And Hassoy
Okay.
now.
And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to ride for anybody else.
All right. Yeah, he'll kill you.
Right? He's like,
No,
no,
I'm just-
I own you, brother.
No. But anyway, do you guys ever think riding for a smaller company probably might have kind of held you back at any point? Do you think it could have contest wise,
Well, I
seemed
didn't
like the
really-
judges were always looking for
Didn't really think about that. I just wanted to skate. And
Yeah.
so when I rode for Tuzo, he asked me, I wasn't out looking for a sponsor.
Right.
So he called me up and I just said yes.
Okay.
And then after, in 78, 79, when it died, I just started surfing every day and got into punk rock and music. And I still skateboarded all the time. But looking back, you're right. Maybe
Yeah.
I should have went to the bigger company and said, "Hey, I'm available.
Right.
I want to ride for
Hal
you."
could have used you at that
And
time, man.
And if they said yes, that would have been great.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's not the way I looked at it. Maybe I should have. And
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
I should have. But
Oh,
I
hindsight's
just-
always 20.
Yeah.
I just wanted to skateboard. I didn't really care about, I mean, that's a fault, maybe.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a fault, man. It's just honest skating, It's
I was
just
never
what-
in it for, like you obviously noticed that I'm very quiet. And so
Well,
I'm not
Howard,
going to...
you've been
I
quiet
didn't,
for 45
I didn't
years,
go out
you
and shop myself. I wasn't that kind of person. I was
Yeah.
just like, I'll skate, and then if someone
Yeah.
said, hey, do you want to ride? All right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I skated a couple contests with you, and I think you might have been like, "Fuck, that was rad," and you might have been like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Like, okay. Well, that guy's so quiet. He's kind of like Doug Marker.
Well, it's like
He
I was-
doesn't talk, or maybe I smell or something like.
Well, it's
I
like
don't
when
know.
I was talking to Lonnie on the way down here. We had, a couple hours to talk,
Yeah.
and I mentioned to him when we first got into the vert, the half pipe contest when we started riding for Dale Smith, and he entered us in a few of the vert contests, and so we went to the first one, which is Duel in the Desert.
Is that the Phoenix one?
It was Tempe, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
That's the
but
one.
That's the one I broke my collarbone in.
So anyway,
Yeah.
we went there, and we hadn't been in a pro contest in
Yeah.
'79, so this was probably '88, and so we hadn't seen anybody. We didn't. I'd never ridden with Jeff Phillips.
It was
or
like
any-
85, I think.
Is that the one with the tombstone?
No, this
No.
was a half pipe, and
No.
it had
Oh,
It wasn't half pipe. It was
It
like
had
100
tw-
degrees out, right?
and it had 20 feet of flat bottom instead
Yeah.
of a normal 16. It was a weird
exactly.
ramp.
Yeah.
And so we got there, and nobody had, we'd never talked to Gator or Jason Jesse. I'd never even talked to
Yeah.
Tony Hawk. So we get there, and we were practicing, and everybody's riding. And it was the first time I'd been in a contest in over
Yeah.
8 years.
Right.
And so we're riding against Tony Hawk. I'm already 28 years old at the time.
Yeah.
So Tony's probably like 17 or something.
Mhm.
Those guys, Hosoi, they're all younger. They're Lonnie's age or a little bit younger than Lonnie. So we were practicing, and nobody was talking to us, and they didn't know who we were. And I just remember I went up onto the deck, and I was just standing there, in the back, kind of hiding, going, "This is too weird."
It was a super snake session.
And it was a super snake
Super
session, and
snake
so it's
session.
kind of gladiator on a vert ramp.
Yeah.
So if you drop in, and someone's dropping the other way, you could really hurt each other.
Yeah.
So Lonnie was taking a run, and everybody was watching, and I heard the people saying, who is that? And then someone said, "That's Lonnie Hiromoto." And then everyone on the deck started going, "No way, that's Lonnie Hiromoto." They're like, "Oh my God, it's Lonnie Hiromoto." So they're all
He
like,
sucks.
they all came up to Lonnie, and they're like, "Lonnie Hiromoto, hey, how's it going?" And I was kind of in the back, ducked down, going, "Boy, I hope they don't notice me. I just want to skate." And then all of a sudden they noticed me, and
Yeah, because I go, there's Howard.
Howard Hood, everybody.
so I just remember
Let's bring him in.
all those guys just wanted to say, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And they'd seen us in the magazine. They'd never really seen us in the flesh riding with them, and they were just so stoked to see us.
I remember that contest because I was in it too.
And
You guys are probably thinking, hey,
And that was
you
like
guys are in the wrong
85.
era.
It was like 85.
no, it was much later because
I was working at GNS at the time.
Lonnie and I
that was
started.
have to be in the
And
90s.
I was working for.
It was in the 80s.
I was
And,
working for H Street. at
So
the
what
time.
happened
I mean,
was
I wasn't
was
working
that,
for H Street yet.
I didn't start skating vert on a vert ramp until '86. I went to Holiday Havoc and watched Hosoi do the 10-foot air, and that got me back into skating. So it was probably '88, maybe '87. No, I guarantee you, because I wasn't skating in '85. I wasn't riding ramps
Howard.
because I went to I went to Holiday Havoc, which
You
was
can't ask me because I don't remember half the shit you're talking about.
I know. I'm thinking
no,
like
Holiday Havoc
okay.
was in 1986.
I'm trying to think. Okay, if not, it couldn't be later than '86 because I was working at GNS, and I remember I went there and I was wearing GNS stuff.
Okay.
And at '87, I was working for H Street at that time.
Yeah.
That's right when it just started
Yeah.
firing up.
Yep.
And I remember being there at GNS board. I was riding a Neil Blender board, and the whole bit. I remember that was a super snake session. I remember my first ride I mean, like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I did
Well, I
backside
remember-
air on the first wall. I was trying to get speed for the second one. You remember it was like 100 and something degrees.
Yeah.
It was like
Arizona.
105 degrees out there. The ramp was super slippery. I just remember landing on that second backside air, and the back just slid out, and I went down, broke my collarbone, and I was like, I'm out. I can't skate. And Dale was like, come on, you can do it. You can get up. You can go. I was like, don't touch me. And then that Curtis Hustlegrave guy, not Curtis, there was that other guy. Not anyway, he was like trying to like bandage my arm and move me around.
Barry.
I was
Barry.
Barry, man. I was
like,
ready to punch that guy, man.
Barry.
I said, you touch me one more time, dude, I'm gonna nail you. I'm gonna.
That's funny.
And then he was like, well, I could help you. I said, nothing's gonna help this, man.
It's
like,
broken.
If the bone is sticking out here, okay, leave me alone.
I just
Oh,
remember
man.
I had my heat was Tony Hawk, I think, was in it, and Jason Jesse. I can't remember who else. All I
Right.
remember is there's no way I'm gonna outplace these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was
remember-
stoked to
I don't
be in
even
the
remember
contest.
skating in that.
I remember the thing about it. It came all the way down to between Chris Miller and Tony Mag, that contest. And the people there just wanted Chris Miller to win that thing. Like, they wanted to win, man. Like, we don't care what anything happens to Miller, he's winning this. And he fell in every one of his runs. And Tony Mag made every trick perfect. And then Chris Miller got announced as the winner. And I was just like, oh my God.
That's so crazy.
It was
Now you
insane,
know why
but-
I hate skating contests.
Yeah. Hey, but that's been going on forever.
Right?
You know,
It
you look at
has.
at the Legends bands every time, man. Like,
Right?
there's always something.
Yeah, but
you
the
know?
one time you didn't was the runway contest. Of course, it was our home park,
Yeah.
and it was the biggest contest of the year.
You guys had it dialed.
And we had it dialed, and I don't
Yeah.
think anybody even thought they could challenge us, which
Yeah.
they didn't have a chance.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And it was, we were expected to take first and second. We did.
Yeah.
And, it's,
The judges,
what could they say? We were doing airs as high as the fence. And we were the only guys that could pump that thing the way we did. Salva took third. And, it was so cool to be in the living room with my mom and dad and everyone to see the, it be on TV. And I just remember watching it and thinking, what the heck? I'm on TV.
Yeah, that was a big push back then for skateboarding. When you're on TV and stuff, and that was on CBS Sports.
CBS
Yeah.
Sports Spectacular. A lot of people say, "Oh, that was on Wide World of Sports."
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Everyone
and then
says
I
that
looked
all
it
the
up,
time.
and I was like, no, that's CBS. But you can get that
You
footage.
can't.
Why not? It's
I don't know.
CBS. It's public information.
Orton has been trying to get that
Yeah.
footage.
Oh, yeah, but it's
And,
Orton.
Well, he went to
He was telling me about
Hey, no
him
offense,
trying-
George, but
Yeah, he said he
You're
went
in
to
Hawaii now.
he went to the guy that was in charge of the archives,
Okay.
and he went on the computer and he said it was erased or something. And
Oh, no way,
They
really?
lost
and
it.
I remember there's part of it on YouTube. It's like the very end of the contest. It's the big vert ramp,
Yeah.
and some guy had it on Betamax, and he like taped a movie or a soap opera
Oh
over it.
gosh, man.
So, and I know Tuzo had it on Betamax, and people have been trying to find that footage
Well, Ray
forever.
Allen has all of it. So
Well, good luck with that.
Yeah, he never
you said
gonna
Ray
get it
Allen.
either.
What?
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
could find it.
What?
what's that?
The runway contest.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. You know who else might have it too? Mike McGill has a lot of that footage from back then. It's-
Really?
Yeah.
He wasn't
Mike
even
does.
there, but I don't.
I know, but somehow he got his hands on it. I think he got it on from what's his face? What's his name?
Kevin Anderson had a lot of movie footage from
Yeah,
that.
from-
Yeah.
8. Oh no, what's his face?
Have you seen that?
I've seen a bunch of stuff. I don't know.
No, it's the actual runway contest, but
No, I haven't seen it.
who's the guy? It's Kevin's friend. Kevin bought a bunch of film, and he filmed all this stuff, and Kevin put it together on
Wow.
Worman in the 70s.
Oh, really? No, I
and
haven't
he has
seen that.
footage from the runway.
Wow. Yeah, that'd be good footage to get. I mean, any footage nowadays, especially of us, because there's nothing out there, and
Yeah,
no one's
very
willing
little.
to give it out.
Right.
You know, and
Yeah,
so,
Dennis Ogden had that
yeah,
the Dogboat Pro footage.
yeah.
Was
He's
it
got
the
some.
runway skate park freeformer vert competition?
Yes, it is.
1978, and it's right there on that TV for us.
That is it.
Yeah, that's the part. That's
And so the only part that you'll see of
is this. Yeah.
is that, and at the very end you'll see a me doing a backside air, and they said that's it from the runway in Carson, and I do a backside air in the bowl. Yeah, this is where
Well, at least you weren't falling.
Look at Tony Jaton. No, who was it?
Well, here's another guy from Palos Verdes.
Yeah.
Tony Jaton.
Yeah.
What's his name?
He was a wild man. I went
Gary
on-
Atkinson falls on his butt real hard.
Oh, yeah.
Gazoo goes
Gazoo.
down, huh?
Gazoo
Gazoo.
goes down.
I had dinner with him like about 8 months ago.
Really?
It was funny. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, so the
Here he is.
there he is. This is it where he goes and falls on his butt. Yeah,
This
there's the
was-
bank slalom. He goes up and then
Oh, that's
Ah,
and then
hard.
he gets up
That's
like
not that bad. He's got those hip pads on.
He's like, I just
those
knocked
shorts
my-
were crazy.
I just knocked my spine out of
My
adjustment.
spleen just came out.
Watch it in slow motion.
Oh,
That's a
my
pretty far
gosh.
fall though.
That's
Look
a
at
lot of vert.
watch. He falls a good. What? That's at least 10 feet.
Oh, right on his tailbone.
Yeah, but those
Yeah.
pads, I
Yeah.
had those pads, man. They had like
They were like
2-inch thick
The
pads
Mad-
in there,
Mad
man.
Rats?
Yeah.
No, those weren't
No.
Mad Rats. They're
like skate design or
Yeah.
skate.
They're like
skate
rad
something.
pads. Weren't they called rad pads?
no, they weren't
No,
done either.
they-
But
It was
anyway,
just a giant thing of
Yeah.
foam around your rear end.
yeah.
I used to love watching this guy skate.
Tay.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had
yeah.
so much flow. He would
Yeah.
just drift.
Well, wait a
Zzz.
minute. What did Tay? Tay made up a couple tricks, didn't he?
Probably a set
Uh-huh.
slide.
He did that crazy.
He did
set
that
slide in the
drift.
pipe.
Oh, did he? He was the one. Okay.
He just did one.
Yeah, I saw it.
That big old, and then big old drift like this, and he
He-
just stalls
He got a cover.
8 feet,
Yeah.
1 inch.
and just drifts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, shit, man, you can't really do much of a kick turn on an 8-foot wide board when you're,
Yeah.
8 feet of vert.
So that-
the best thing to do
It was a
is to do
20
that.
foot.
How's George? Front
Unless
side.
you're Orton, I
It
know.
was a
man.
20-foot
Yeah.
ramp with
'How's
10,
George?
10
I'm
feet
gonna
of
be
vert.
the only one to do it. Front side.
He kept saying he was gonna do an air out of the top.
George is so burly.
Okay.
Even today, he still is.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Even today.
Well, he's
intense.
actually he's up in Seattle right now.
Yeah.
Actually, at some music festival or something. So I just heard about that yesterday. So
That's rad.
anyway, well, let's get back to the contest scene. 'Cause, I know you guys both went to Arizona contest, and Lonnie, you did it in the pool. Wait a minute. No,
I
you were
did the pipe.
Yeah, you did the pipe. You did the pool.
And the tombstone, but he placed in the
Oh,
tombstone,
here
I think.
that was the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you you had that pipe. Where's that picture of jumping out of the pipe?
Oh yeah, I love
Lonnie.
that
Where is
pipe.
it?
P6.
That pipe was rad.
That was a lot like Upland when I first saw it. I was like, that
Yeah,
looks like
but
he's
it
at
had a better landing than Upland.
Oh yeah, okay.
You could fly out of that.
Yeah, and then and I know you got in the top 10 in the bull riding.
Yep. That was
So-
another one of those hot contests.
Yeah, you had something. You tried to burn your hotel down or something, if I remember right.
That's the one
Something.
where I guess some skaters tried to burn the hotel down, and then somebody ran a tractor into the power plant. The lights all went out, and we were told it was Jason Jesse.
Oh really? No,
Yeah.
it couldn't have been. He wasn't even around then. He was like 10
Yeah, that
years
was-
old at that time.
That was
So couldn't have been.
No.
The other Jesse. What was that guy's name? The other Jesse. Maybe it was him.
No,
That
well,
make more sense. It couldn't be Jason Jesse.
no.
Because Jason Jesse would have been like
that's right.
7
Huh?
years old at that time.
Gromit.
No, there was another Jesse though.
Wasn't there
Blonde
Jesse?
haired
Rodney Jesse.
Rodney Jesse. thank you.
Rodney
I don't think
Jesse.
he was
Yeah,
on that
I don't.
No, he
I don't know,
wasn't
but it
there.
seemed like he'd be that guy that would be out there, you know. But yeah, I didn't know what
Well,
the
it was
story
none of us, and we had all the hoodlums with us in our room.
Who took that picture? Who took that picture? One of Lonnie.
I don't know, but that's
Yeah,
That was
that's high roller, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's how
yeah,
I
it's
roll.
our
That's
roller,
that's
Ted Terrebonne.
Oh,
Oh,
T-Bone did?
terrible.
Yeah, T-Bone.
Yeah.
That's what it said on the picture when I edited that out. But that's who took the photograph.
Rad, I had a little bit. I not a little bit. I had hair back then.
I know, man.
That shit just don't grow no more.
Let's see that. It either doesn't grow or turns gray.
All right. Mine does both. Don't grow and turns gray.
Well, that's the fun of being old now, man. You know? Oh, boy. Anyway, all right. So, Howard, at this contest, I mean, were you hanging out with him at that room when that place got burned down, or no?
Oh yeah, we always stayed together.
Okay.
We had a guy, George Medell, used to drive us to all the contests.
Really? You guys had your own personal driver?
Yep.
Shit, that's pretty cool.
He was, well, I guess he was sort of the team manager. Because, Lonnie was 13, so you had to have somebody watch him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Lonnie was always in trouble, running around doing something.
We terrorized this guy.
But you know how it is.
Sorry for this.
Everybody that showed up at the contest, there was a lot of, it was the 70s, so a lot of drinking and partying. That's just the way it is.
No,
And
I know.
there was always something going on at the hotels. Somebody was doing something, Blackheart or some, we're all radical guys. We're all
throwing TVs out.
Yeah, we're all skateboarders,
That's
so
stuff that
skateboarders
happened.
tend to do
Those
stuff.
Cowboys, they when they came down here, they just went, fuck it, I'm gonna go nuts.
Right.
So, the middle of the night, we're all hyped up at a contest. You have a couple of soda pops and get on your skateboard and you go downtown and eat. And then, you'd have a restaurant full of skateboarders. And so,
Things went down.
things went down.
Yeah, no, I just was trying to do it because I didn't show up at that contest. I don't remember. I had something going on the Thursday, so I left like early Thursday or late Thursday night and drove out there and got there Friday. And then, I don't know, I just remember I had like 2 hours of skate. That was it before the contest. And then the contest started on Saturday morning.
Yep.
And I tried sleeping in the bowl, and there was like 6 or 7 other people in the bowl. And I finally went out and slept in my car and had a terrible contest, and then I just drove home, man. I was like,
Do you remember that thing?
terrible.
That thing was hard to skate.
Yeah.
That tombstone was in the wrong place. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, it was wrong place for both regular and goofy foot people.
are you
And it was
regular
only-
foot or
Yeah, I'm
goofy?
regular, because that thing was only as wide as this table.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it was
That's
it.
why I
So-
would go up it and go off the side and do airs out of
Yeah.
like out of a pipe or something. So you go up the tombstone, I would air off the side of it.
Right.
There's a few people that got pretty high on that thing, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, you could get up on it, but you couldn't get up on it.
Yeah, you,
know
had to
what
go
I mean?
straight up and
Yeah.
straight down, or else you go off the side of it.
Yeah.
So-
So, I don't know, man. I don't know how long that park lasted, and it was just kind of weird that
the
there was
only
a
time I
contest
rode it.
there.
Right?
It seemed like
Yeah.
every one of those contest parks, I only rode them just for the contest and never went back. Same thing at Big O.
Yeah.
Only rode it once. Same with Spring Valley, rode it once.
Can't believe you just Big O was so good. That
Yeah,
park
but-
was.
That was at the end of the
Yeah.
78. Then there was a runway contest, and then by 79,
Wait a minute. Big O. It was before the runway. No.
yeah,
Okay, then.
because the runway is in November. Big O, I don't remember what month it was.
It was at the end. It was at the end.
August,
of,
maybe?
the end of summer.
Yeah, it was the last contest. I remember it. All those contests were super hot. Super hot.
Isn't that big O?
I think though when you're talking about in '78 Big O, and you said you
That was
saw
the
me
fourth.
there.
That was the fourth Hester.
Okay. What?
That's the one where Orton slammed.
But I was there at the amateur
Orton slammed at
contest.
every contest.
Yeah, I know. Orton-
That's what I'm saying.
Orton
So,
always gave blood.
so the
man.
Big O contest was the final one. That's when
Really?
yeah.
So they only had 4 contests in Hester 1 series?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Well, then you ended up 5th overall.
Yeah.
You were 5th overall.
Well, the first two
Right?
contests.
Isn't that gnarly?
Well, the first two contests, nobody knew who I was, and I didn't even make the first round of cuts.
No, I know, but you still got 15 points.
And
for
I
it.
just stood in the background and didn't.
Yeah.
Nobody knew who I was. But then after Newark, that's when everyone said, "Oh, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with." That's what it said in the.
Yeah.
And so then at Big O, I did really well in that too. And then the runway contest, we took first and second. Then after that, it was just all downhill.
Wow. And then you got 5th overall in the first Hester series.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right?
It was shocking to me, that's for sure. 'Cause I didn't plan out to be a pro skater. I don't think most people thought
Oh no,
that
none
would
of us,
happen.
nobody ever thought
You
about
got the
that
phone.
then.
You got the phone
You know.
call. Hey, do you want to be on our team? I was like, who are you? And they're like, we don't know who you are. Who are you? And you're
Yeah.
like you were talking about earlier. They came up to you and said, hey, we're Sims, right
Yeah.
for us. And you're like, no, I don't know who you
You
are.
know,
And who are you?
Yeah.
I'm Dave Andrew.
Yeah.
You know.
I was just Dave. I'm always just Dave. I'm Dave.
Yeah, I
But
just
no, it's
remember
just-
every contest we
There's
went
the
to.
results right there.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
contest.
results will be up, but I
Every
mean, like,
contest we went to, there was like 10 different new guys you never saw doing things that you never seen before.
Okay. See, like that was my thing because I thought there was 5 contests in the first Hester series, and when I saw your name as number 5.
Spring
as the
Valley,
final.
Upland, Newark, and
Yeah.
Orange.
Yeah. And I thought there
Yeah,
was one more
fair.
after that because after that it went next year it went to 5. Hester 2 was 5 because we finished up. We had Big O and then we had Upland, and Upland was like You know, that was always the finals. Gold Cup Series, same thing. That was, you know, you had to go skate up one because the thing was just a beast. And that proved a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of guys who were really good, like skating a marina or skating, you know, even a Big O was getting bigger for them. But then when they got in the big pool, they couldn't, you know, do all the same tricks because it was too big. And they weren't used to.
Not so much that it was too big, it had a lot of vert.
Well, yeah, it had a lot of vert and coping stuck out a mile, and it was a brutal pool, man.
Yeah.
You paid there, man. You got, I mean...
You know, an easy bowl like Spring Valley, I'm not saying it's super easy, but it's a really easy to ride. It's not too much vert. You could...
What? Spring Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that thing had so much vert in it.
Well, compared to the Combi Bowl.
Well, I mean, the difference...
Combi Bowl had 4 feet of vert.
Yeah, there's a big difference there.
So what I'm saying
actually, in the square pool, I think it was like 7 feet of vert.
Right?
It had a lot of vert. So, like, I'm just saying, if you went to a simple bowl like Marina, the Dog Bowl or something, you could pretty much do what you did in most bowls. But then you go to, like if you went to Paramount, you're lucky to get to the top, let alone do a trick.
Right.
Did you ever skate that?
No.
Oh,
never rode Paramount?
Goodness.
You never rode Paramount?
Paramount was...
Why?
Wow.
Never got up there. Never had a contest there.
Yeah, they'd never had one, really.
Yeah.
Nobody could skate it. What, George Orton and Worm?
Well, look at those guys. They're both in the Hall of Fame, too, you know?
Right?
So that's saying something. It's like skating the Marina Bowl, you know?
In the Hall of Fame.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but where's their name on that list where Howard is in 5th?
Where?
Overall.
I wasn't allowed to...
okay, I won't even bring that to the surface now. But
I'll tell you what, man.
Let's not talk Hall of Fame. Let's change the subject.
We'll talk about that because I wasn't allowed to go pro until I graduated from high school. So that whole first tester series, man.
You have to get your education, Dave.
I know, man.
You're like, I want to be a skateboarder.
Oh. You know, everybody else is
You'll never go anywhere.
You know,
You'll never go anywhere. You'll never be anything.
You'll never
get your education.
You'll never make a damn dime at skateboarding. That's what I was told.
Yeah.
You know, and then after I made a dime, brought home like $2,200, my first contest. Yeah. My dad was like, "Well, I guess you're okay. We'll keep it up."
Right.
That was all my dad said to me.
Right.
You know, this was after my mom, man. Oh, she crucified me. She did, man. You know, I'll never forget just sitting there feeling so bad because she was so upset. You know, that because I started college and dropped out my first semester. And I put my dropout papers on our piano, and then my mom and dad were on vacation. When they came home, my mom read it. It was like, get it here. And I was just like, what? What's the problem, Mom?
I got my own motto, Mom.
I know. That's how
it's got our name in it. Your last name, mine.
Yeah, well, she understood after the fact.
Yeah.
But before that, she, you know. But it was my dad. It was just like, you're not going to make it. And by the way, here's the bill that you're going to start paying in the house. You get the SDG and the water bill. I was like, okay, well, how are you going to pay for that? Skateboarding? I said, no, I guess I'll have to pay for it in my paper route until I make money in skateboarding. And then when I did, then he was like, oh, okay.
That's right.
That's how I was. And what happened in my house back in like 78. So, but, because I remember I wanted so desperately to be in that first Spring Valley contest. Because you know how you were at your home park, that's how I was in that park. And, you know, I know Dennis will sit here and tell me how much he would beat me in that contest, but even at that time I had way more tricks than, sorry Dennis, I did have more tricks than you.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. Did you not hear me?
Yeah. I was sitting there. And to be honest with you, you know who I was rooting for in that contest? Doug Marker.
Doug,
Yeah. And the only reason was because he had like no sponsorship, you know. Nobody talked to that guy, you know. Like he just was like a guy on an island. And I just remember that. You know, I remember, you know, because back then Doug, you know, had like brownish blonde hair.
Yeah.
And
I had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
But I just remember seeing him riding, and he was very good.
Yeah.
You know, he's as good as anyone there.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Doug who?
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even
Right?
know who Salva was. I
Yeah.
said, who's this Salva guy?
Yeah,
I
that's
just
right.
remember him going around, just around
90
and
miles
around,
an hour,
yeah.
a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, man. I remember him too because he definitely stood out. But Schneider was the other guy for me that.
Yeah, Doug. and
Anybody that
Kurt.
did a new trick, because I was just like a hungry little kid, like trying to learn every trick, you know. And when I saw him roll in, I swear to God, 3 tries later, I was in and rolling in, and that's when the Sims guys were like, "Well, frick are you?" I'm like, "Who are you?" You know, like, pedophile, get out of here, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah, when I got the phone call, I was at the runway, and I was, I wasn't thinking, hey, I'm going to be a pro skateboarder. And somebody called and said, somebody came up to me and said, hey, Howard, there's some guy on the phone who wants to talk to you. And I'm like, what? Somebody wants to talk to me. So I went and got on the phone. He says, yeah, because I had been to Canoa Surf because it was near to where I lived. And, when you went to a shop, you would just look around at all the stuff that you couldn't have.
Yeah, right.
And your parents wouldn't buy you because we're not paying for no skateboard. You ain't going to be no skateboarder. And that's all you wanted.
Yeah.
And so I answered the phone. And he said, you want to be in the I had no idea there was even a pro contest coming up. And I said, sure. That's how I became, I got sponsored and became pro. It was just a phone call that I didn't expect.
That's a great story.
And so,
I mean, that's like the story from everybody, man.
yeah, so I go up to the shop and he had a shirt with an iron-on Canoa Surf team right here. And,
I remember that. It said team, Canoa
yeah, and it said
Surf.
Canoa.
That was the raddest.
Yeah, and so,
Was it those old balloon iron-on letters?
Yeah, yeah,
They
exactly.
were really
it was just a regular.
That's funny.
Did he have blue Vans on too?
The puffy
yeah.
one.
It was
the puffy
It was
one.
a mail order Canoa Surf shirt, and he just put team underneath it. And
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
so we all, back then it was team. You were on the
Yeah,
team,
yeah,
so
yeah,
everybody
that was
wore the
big.
same thing.
That was big.
We had
Howard
this-
has one. You have one on that ad on that rock ball.
Yeah.
You have that
So
shirt on.
We have the same shorts, the same shirt. You had a flyaway. You had the. So funny. They
Yeah.
tried to make it a sport.
Speaking of that flyaway, great looking helmet.
Yeah.
But God Almighty, man, when I fell on my head on that thing,
All right. Thank you for expressing that.
cut my eye right here. I had to
right
get-
across here.
Yeah, I had to get.
But,
mine was over here. I got it right
Yeah.
here.
Everybody got it right there.
Yeah.
But I actually did it
Yeah.
in a Delgado.
Oh, really? Oh, no way.
Because that's who made the flyaway was
Yeah.
Delgado. So you remember in the 80s,
Yeah,
they had the
Rubber
same
Delgado.
exact helmet,
Really?
but it had that little
he's the
reflective
original
strip.
flyaway.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Then you have an imposter one. That's
Yeah, I remember that.
remade.
I have
from-
one of those.
So anyway,
from another guy that.
so when I did it, I was
we're not going to go down that road.
it was on Jake, Jake Piasecki's ramp. I did a Madonna, came down and just slammed, and it cut my eye, and
Yeah.
I was half knocked out, and I
Yeah.
couldn't see, and I had my eyes open, and when I finally could see again, I felt something dripping down my face, and I thought it was sweat, and as my vision came back, I could see it was blood, and I had a cut all the way across my eye, and it was way out to here, and just blood pouring down.
Yeah, I had the same. I did the same thing.
Steve
Except for-
Alba,
You
same
know,
thing.
you know who woke me up, or I woke up to? Kim Suspides.
Oh, wow.
It was at Del Mar.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was doing an indie air.
Did you get stitches?
I'm sorry, I was doing. God darn it, man!
Gunner?
I was doing a gun air, and I tried to throw the board out, and the other side, and it got stuck between my legs. And
Oh.
it caught like that, and I couldn't run, and I went straight down on my head, and I was knocked out in that bowl for a little bit, and Kim was like shaking me, like, "Damn, damn, you all right?" And I was just like, And when I finally came to, same thing. I just felt how warm. I remember warm, like, and I was like, "What the heck is this, man?" And I saw it was blood. I was like, "Ah, shit!" Like, anyway, yeah, that was 4 stitches right away. So anyway, and they weren't gonna let me drive home because I was knocked out. And they were like, "Do you feel like you're gonna throw up?" I'm like, "No, I'm just pissed off. I gotta go get this fixed. I gotta go." And they're like, "You can't drive." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I'll just stay here. And they gave me some ice, and I put it on there for like a minute or 2, and then I went and got in my car and drove home.
Lonnie did that at this ramp in Gardena. He slammed like that, was knocked out. Kind
Yeah, I
of
lived at that house with the ramp.
Yeah.
He got kind of knocked out, and then he got up and we said, "You all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm all right." And he got in his car and took off and drove somewhere. We're still skating. About a half hour later, he came back and he's going, "What happened? What am I doing?" I said, "Dude, what are you doing?" I said, "You knocked yourself out." He goes, "What? I knocked myself out?" I go, "Yeah, you all right?" And he's like, "I don't know." Did you go to the first, what was that, the old school skate jam?
Yeah.
Wally knocked himself out like that. He did a rock and roll,
Did he?
over-rotated.
Okay, were we talking one that was in Sepulveda or up in
Simi
the Valley?
Valley.
Yeah, Simi Valley. That was
Hit
it.
his head and
Yeah.
walked around for 2 hours saying, "What happened? What
Wait,
happened?"
who did that?
Wally.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember
Dwayne
that.
Peters, too. I have footage of it. He hit his head, man. You could hear it crack on the bottom. And he wasn't wearing a helmet. And then a little bit later, you could see him in the video where he had put his helmet on. My friend looked at him and said, "Oh, you got your helmet on now." And he's like, "Yeah." The sound, his head just crack.
Yeah. I'm going to try and get Dwayne in here.
That poor
Just
ramp.
Just to
No,
talk to him.
that poor ramp.
That would be good.
Are you guys still talking to Dwayne at all? Or?
No, I haven't
No.
seen him in a while. I
Okay.
keep meaning to go down there where he is and,
Hey, he's just right down the street.
yeah, and say hi, but
Dwayne's funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's funny, all right.
He used to have that little thing he used to do. Corn dog, what was his name? He used to do some. What was that thing he used to do? Where he was talking about, oh yeah, Lonnie got a board at Kmart or something. Howard got a board at Ralph's or
Hey,
something like that. A model.
Hey, you got P9? I want to see this because I couldn't figure this one trick out that you were doing, Howard, at Big O. And it was in the magazine.
that is a horrible version of a hand plant.
Yeah,
I had
okay.
just learned it. So Bobby did it at Newark, and I went straight home and said, "I'm going to learn that because, he won the contest." So,
Oh, that?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the heck.
That was
I
me
thought it was like an eggplant or something.
That's
Like,
me.
I'm trying to
No,
look at it,
no.
like, put my hand down, but it's hard to see.
That's me trying to do an invert.
Okay.
That was, in the magazine, it said my version of the
Yeah, something. It
the
was.
hand down aerial or whatever
Yeah.
it said. So I went home straight from Newark.
Dude, you got Kryptonics on your
I
board.
was
Yeah,
just gonna
I do.
say that you got blue cryptos on
Blue
there.
Cryptos, yeah. And I went straight to the runway, 17-foot ball, and said, "I'm going to learn that trick." And so I must have did 50 of them and bailed. Had to run
Yeah.
17 feet each time. So I go up 17 feet, do it, and then just jumped off and ran down. And I don't know how I didn't die trying to learn that trick in a 17-foot ball. So I remember the first time I went up, and like when you're trying to do something, and then somehow you land it, and there I am going down the wall 17 feet going, "Oh my gosh, what do I do?" And I was like a roller coaster ride, almost like, "I'm going to die." And that's how I learned it. In fact, almost everything I learned was in a 17-foot ball. Rollouts, roll-ins, inverts, rock and rolls, just about everything was in the runway ball.
So,
Which is-
so Danny Way is basically a reincarnation of Howard,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
you did all the stuff that Danny became famous for, that
Mega
just
ramp,
big
yeah.
ramp stuff.
Yeah.
And you were doing big pool stuff.
Yeah, there was a few big bowls out there. The Monster Bowl at Lakewood was 19 foot.
Yeah.
That was big.
Yeah, I remember skating that thing
Yeah,
too.
very
Just
few
carving
people.
it.
Yeah,
Just
I
carving
remember Blackheart would ride it. A few people rode it, Lonnie and I.
Yeah.
And the Verdi Bowl, of course, 16 feet.
Mhm.
Gosh, 7, 8 feet of vert, 6 feet of vert, whatever it
Those-
was.
Those were rad.
Kevin Anderson doing the edgers and all that stuff he would do in there.
Did you ever go anywhere else? Did you ever travel anywhere else?
Not much,
Yeah.
because it was such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Lonnie
okay.
got to go to Japan, and I didn't get to go. Same thing with Daryl.
Man, I can't believe it.
And when we rode for Dale, we went to Houston. We did a
Okay.
few contests, and of course that didn't last very long.
Mhm.
88, 89, it was dead again.
Yeah, it was gone.
Anyways, to make you feel any better, you wouldn't have had fun at Japan. I had to go down to hotel. There was vending machines where I could buy Suntory whiskey. I was 13 years old drinking whiskey on the way back. Talking about
Yeah, I mean, Howard, you would have had a terrible,
Terrible
with
time
that.
in Japan.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't think you're gonna win that one. Hey, oh yeah, okay. All right, so Lonnie, why did you stop doing all the contests? You won. You went to 2 more contests, and then you just kind of. I don't remember seeing you in anymore.
Yeah, I think.
You were in Winchester.
Yeah, I was in Winchester.
I
I don't know. There's just so much.
Oh, I think I
He
got a
knows,
picture.
that wasn't
Actually,
a-
I think I got. Oh no, I got a picture of you at Winchester. Yeah.
There's too much politics and everything, and I just wasn't a contest skater.
So you think there was a little bit of bias going on between the judges and different teams of riders and stuff?
I felt that way, but I just felt like,
I think
I'll
people
go.
got pigeon-toed into
Yeah.
like what position they were going to get. Like no matter how good you skated, you know, I always got like my first year was always in 1 through 5. My second year was always 6 through 8.
Well,
Third
so,
year was
yeah.
still 6 through 8. You know, it was like in all the contests, I was like, "Jeez, man! Like I skated really freaking good." And then you know, it's like you didn't make the cut. I'm like, "How did I not make the cut?" Like I know I
Right.
outskated. I thought I was gonna get first, and next thing I know, man, I'm 11th place, and I'm
You were
like
in-
going home, man.
I remember
I'm like,
watching you in some contests, just going,
Marina was the worst one for me, upper keyhole, because
Oh.
I expected, you know, like
yeah.
man, I was doing like 5-6 foot airs out of that pool.
You were
and
ripping.
At least to
doing
make the
camel
final.
and
Yeah.
I
you know,
thought for sure it'd be in the final. But
and frontside inverts.
I think for
Miller
me
flips,
it was just
everything.
like I went to a contest, and then after a certain amount of time, you realize, you know, you just go in, you ride, and whatever happens, happens, because you don't have a choice in that.
yeah.
And I didn't really skateboard for the contest. Once you became pro, of course, the person you ride for says you're going to go to the contest, so you're all right, I'll be there. You skate, and for me, it was like I didn't care. You know, who was I going to go talk to about it? You know?
Yeah, I know, man. We had nothing to do
No,
there.
like
We
it is
were,
today,
you know,
like that.
yeah.
Right.
You guys gave these young kids a livelihood.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
They're
yeah.
like-
Well, I mean, you know, there's some kids that are, some guys making millions of dollars now a year.
Right.
Well, it's
And,
different
you
because
know,
I manage a skate shop,
Yeah.
South-Based Skates, and you see a lot of mothers and fathers will bring their kids in specifically thinking that my kid's going to be pro. Like we get kids from Japan and
Yeah.
and all different areas, and they're obviously bringing their kid in to buy them stuff to make them a pro skateboarder. And I think for us, there wasn't really pro skateboarding other than freestyle, and we wanted to ride bowls. And then when the Hester series came out, I wasn't thinking I'm going to be a pro skateboarder, but then I got a phone call and I was.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids have this delusion, like a lot of people think they're going to be pro baseball players or basketball players. If you're not 6'10" or something, you're not going to be, right?
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
with skateboarding, anyone could be pro.
Unless you
It doesn't-
go ball like 99
Yeah.
miles an hour.
But even still, those guys are pretty
Right.
big, tall
Yeah.
guys. And same
Yeah.
with football.
Yeah.
But with skateboarding or
Yeah.
surfing, you know,
The little
it
guy.
doesn't matter
can
how
do it
big
as
you are,
well.
you can do
Yeah.
it. But I never went into skateboarding to be a professional. I
Yeah.
just love skateboarding, and I still do. You know, it's been 50-something years, and I'm still skateboarding, still slamming. And so,
Question why you're still doing this?
Yeah.
Like,
why did I just knock myself out? But so you know, I could probably be in the Master Series and all that, you know, and skate.
Yeah.
And I just choose not to because
You know who I think has done a really good job, and I'll give him props. He's way better now at 55 than he was at 18,
Miller?
19. No, Miller's just been that good all the way.
Right.
No, Pat Noho.
Oh,
yeah.
Noho's killing it.
Yeah,
Right?
man.
He
Pat,
is
in
rad.
that last Masters
Yeah.
contest, I was like, wow.
Pat Noho's
Yeah.
killing it.
yeah, I watched
He
him
got
skate.
pigeonholed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
He Oh,
and
he
it's like
ripped
people
that
just
contest.
I know he did, man, and I felt really bad for him, and I was pulling for him.
He
You
ripped
know, I'm
that
always the
contest.
underdog guy,
But you
but
know,
Oh,
Pat,
my
he's so
God.
cool. And
yeah,
so
I know he
smooth.
doesn't care, but
He's
yeah.
he's doing it
He's
because
silk.
he loves to skateboard,
He's
Yeah.
silk.
and he's so good at it, and so
He's
talented.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so like smooth.
The last time I saw him, we skated Omar's, and he was just cruising around doing his 360 rock and roll, and you know he's so cool and smooth, and
But I mean, like,
just
he
his
is-
attitude towards
He
it.
is
Silk.
so much better now than
Yeah.
he was when
Yeah.
you know he was 18, like, or you know.
I
I mean, that's what I
totally
remember.
agree
him.
with that.
He could have been 15 or 16.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but
He's just
whatever his
casually
age
doing
was, but-
backside airs.
yeah,
and then-
it's just effortless.
Yeah.
But he's still, but his even his style, I think has gotten even better
Yeah.
than back then. And
He's
back
got
then he was
such a
super
flow
smooth.
style. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but you know, I'll definitely give him
I
probably
still
the-
see him
like. Do you?
at the Cove. Yeah,
Really?
skating. He's teaching kids and stuff at the Cove.
Is he? Okay, I had no idea. I when I go to the contest, I always sit up in like the regular people zone, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not the cool guy that can get a cool pass on the floor
Yep.
for the Vans thing, you know. But and I've sat in the same spot every contest.
Yeah.
I always sit there.
You
And,
know how it is. You go to the pool party and you're like, "Can I get?" And they're like, "No."
yeah.
You go
yeah,
over there. Here's a ticket.
Yeah.
And you think, and you see all the guys you used to beat in contests down there around the bowl, and they're like, "What are they doing down there?" And I'm like, "Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go get a hot dog.
Yeah. Well,
I don't care."
yeah. No, I know. Well, I gotta say, I had a really good time a couple times because I have these guys that are art guys, right?
Mhm.
And you know the bracelets that you have to wear, like they make them. Like they find out what the floor guy is wearing, and they'll go in like, "I got that one, okay," and they'll bring them out and they'll use colored pins and stuff and change the color, and then they'll put them
Nice.
on. They walk right in, man. And I'm just sitting there like, nice, way to go, guys. That's skateboarding right there, man.
That's the
Yeah,
bomb right
yeah.
there.
And then I sit where I love the spot I sit. I sit right in the middle of the square pool, like
Yeah.
right there, and you know that's the pool I want to. I mean,
That's the best slams.
yeah. I mean, I watched Eddie knock himself out
Oh,
the
yeah.
last one, and Eddie was like, "I didn't get knocked out." I'm like, "Dude, you did not move for 30 seconds. Like you were knocked out." No, I wasn't. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
"You
remember
don't
that. He was
remember."
knocked out.
Oh, he was knocked out,
He
man.
was knocked out.
Oh man, and I was feeling for him because you know, I mean, of course, I'm gonna pull for all the guys like you know.
Cabby
our
got knocked
generation
out
guys,
one
you know?
year too.
Pardon?
Cabby got knocked
yeah,
out
yeah.
one year too.
Yeah.
I remember when Cav and Lance ran into
Yeah, I
each
was
other.
there. I was there.
Bam!
Yeah,
They
that
just
was annoying.
slammed, and they both came walking out. Woo! You all right? Yeah, I think so.
I remember when those guys were first and second place. Oh no, first and first place. The one year that they had 2 winners.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that
They
one?
tied
Yeah.
because they just couldn't give it to Lance.
Well, they
I
couldn't
mean-
give it. They couldn't give it to Cab.
Well, no.
Whatever it was,
I mean,
I don't remember.
Cab usually would have
Yeah.
got it,
Yeah. Okay.
but seeing how Lance should have got it,
yeah.
they gave him a
Yeah.
tie.
Yeah.
Lance wears Nikes.
Yeah.
Did not give it to him. You know.
Oh, I didn't know that was the case.
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding. You didn't
man.
hear that.
Yeah, I did hear that. I never put it together though. That's funny, man.
That's funny. Lance,
Oh.
we
But I gotta
Chuck
say,
about
I
that.
really missed that contest.
yeah,
And,
totally.
and I think the best contest I ever went to was when they had the Vans contest, and it was a it was a jam.
oh,
my-
way back
Yeah,
That-
was
2010.
That was
That
the first,
was-
The
one
jams?
of the first ones. The jams.
That-
when Trujillo, the Greek, and all them guys used to skate.
All those guys were
Oh.
skating, but I just remember Bucky. You know,
Yeah.
I was waiting for Bucky. I'm like, Bucky's got this. He's gonna win it,
Right,
whatever.
right.
And every time he dropped in, it was like they were all talking, like, Bucky's dropping in, go! And no matter who was in the bowl, they would drop in front of Bucky, so he couldn't take a ride.
Yeah.
And then finally, I just noticed Bucky just grabbed his board and said, "I'm out of here," and he bailed. And that was that. But I
I
remember,
remember
it was Alba would not let him in the bowl, man. Like Alba just dropped in all the time. He did not care who was in there. It's a jam.
Oh,
so.
even with him, Mickey, Alba, Mickey, and Salva, they both would
Yeah.
just drop in.
I don't know about Mick. I just was watching Steve, and I'm like, Steve is not gonna let this guy skate, man. Like, and I'm like, come on, I just want to watch him skate. Hey, come on, Steve! You know, he was yelling at him and stuff. And,
That's
you know,
funny.
yeah. And I just remember because Bucky was trying to do like a front side like board slide around the corner to drop in, and every time he would go in there, then Alba would be firing at him, and you don't want to hit Alba. You know what I mean? You don't want to hit Salva, okay?
Yeah.
You know, especially when he's got speed coming down the pike there like
Right.
that.
I get him.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. But
I
anyway,
stood there. He was on the ground.
Yeah.
all right. So,
Yeah,
where
I
are we
missed
at,
that.
man?
You know,
Picture wise,
you're all over the place today, buddy.
I know, man. That's what makes it
But
fun,
that's
though. I
what's
can't
fun.
help
Right.
it. These guys are
Okay,
making
so
me.
I'm at P11 Howard
Yeah.
Lake frontside.
Yeah, yeah. So
Frontside
let's-
air at Lakewood.
Yeah, the frontside air Lakewood. You were in that
Oh, look at
contest.
that.
You were in that
What
contest.
were you riding, a white
Um,
deck?
It'll be on that one. In
It was a pretty big error for that pool, and
Oh,
it looks like you were doing it on the south wall,
Yep.
and so you had to like roll in on the other side, I believe, to get that speed to get that high.
Well,
That's,
that pipe was downhill, so
yeah.
I,
That's why
I don't
you were coming back up to the top, though.
because back then you don't really remember everything you did, so I don't even remember I barely even remember that contest. I do remember that. That's the.
Do you remember who won?
I do not.
Okay.
Who
What are
did?
those wheels you're riding?
Canoa rollout.
Canoa rollout.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the first one. Then maybe.
He's got a
Steve
Cooper
Alba
on
won
that.
it.
Where
maybe?
the snakes
Some
came
of-
out, they look,
You got a Cooper
just
on
like
that?
snakes.
Yeah, and I have copers
He's
on.
got Copers on
Indy,
Copers on
Indy
that.
copers.
Indy Copers on a round top.
And that
And
was
had
a
like-
10-inch
The thing about that contest, that was my Indy ad.
Yeah.
Was from that contest, and I remember I talked to Eddie Alguera, and he said yeah, I remember, because in my Indy ad he was an amateur, and he was up in the corner of the picture.
Oh,
And
is that
then,
right?
Then Lance had told me he was there. Lance was in the audience, in the crowd. He was down a ways, and he had a 110 Instamatic. And he said, "I got a picture of you from that contest." And he said, "It's a really lame picture." And I said, "I don't care. I want to see it." And he had a picture of me doing a frontside air just like that. Maybe it was the same air.
Look at
But
that picture. It looks rad.
But he was
Yeah,
down a ways.
110 camera, man. That's a
Yeah,
long
with the
time.
little light bar that you would click in, and it would shoot off.
I think Lance has quite a camera collection.
Yeah,
too.
so anytime you would get a picture from anybody, you would like, "Oh, I want it,"
Yeah,
because there were so few pictures.
Yeah, no question about it.
That is a sick picture.
That is, that's
Yeah.
a rad photograph.
Yeah, that was a good contest.
Well, yeah, I don't remember what placement was on that one, but I think that was 79.
Yeah,
I would say it was 79
early
at that time.
79.
Yeah.
Did I enter that contest?
I don't even remember. You should remember.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I don't
that.
know if you did.
Yeah, that right makes me think. You know that commercial you used to see? This is your brain
Yeah.
on drugs. It's like, whoa, that commercial was trying to say something. This is what it's trying to say.
Come on, man.
I don't remember.
What did you know?
shit.
What did you know when you were 13 years old?
Hey, you know what? When I stopped skating,
Oh yeah,
I
was gonna
think
ask you that.
everything behind me,
Yeah,
it's just been forgotten.
I was just gonna ask you. Like, you did take a break from skating for a few years.
Yeah.
Both you guys did.
No, I always skateboarded. I just didn't care
Weren't in
about
the
contests.
scene at all or anything then? Because I didn't. I
go
didn't
to the
see you anywhere.
contest. Didn't drive.
Okay, but you were still out just skating around and doing it.
Surfing and-
Yeah, yeah. Well, I knew you were surfing a lot, but well, you
'Cause,
took a few years too.
Yeah.
For our bonus for the runway contest when we took first and second, we
Yeah.
each got a surfboard.
Oh, okay.
And there was a Canoa Surf Mike Purpose red Coca-Cola board, and I wanted it so bad. And Tuzo and them said, "Oh no, if you're learning how to surf, you got to get a 610 or some giant." I said,
get like some
giant
8-foot
thing that was
buttboard.
like 10 inches thick, and I'm like, I don't want that. I know I could ride this one. And they gave, since Lonnie was smaller than me, they
You
said
gave him the board.
they gave him as like a 6'4" single fin swallow, and they gave it to him, and I wanted it so bad. And Lonnie was like, I don't really want to surf, so I ended up getting the board anyway.
Oh.
And I got like, I can't ride this giant board. So after that, and skateboarding pretty much died.
Right.
The parks were all getting torn out. I mean, Lonnie and I got free food at the skate park. We could go skate anytime we wanted. And so we just lived at the skate park. We got free
Yeah.
cheeseburgers because our skate park had a burger grill in the skate park,
Oh, yeah, he did.
which most didn't. And so they had a full building with a arcade, burger joint, pro shop. So when they closed that down, they might as well just killed me, because it's like, what do I do now? And then, so since I had a surfboard, I just started surfing everywhere. And so that's what I did for quite a few years until they started building all those vert ramps. Because I remember this, somebody said, "Hey, they're building a vert ramp right down here at my friend Danny Montoya's." And so I went to his house, and there it was, a vert ramp in this kid's backyard. And so I started riding that thing.
Was it a good ramp or
Chuck-
Oh,
was
it was
it?
a horrible
Chuck
ramp.
ramp?
Okay.
Chuck
was-
Champ?
No, Danny Montoya.
Oh,
And it
Danny?
was plywood, and it was just janky, but it's totally rideable. And so
flat bottom or flat
it
bottom?
had flat bottom.
Oh, wow.
But one side didn't have a platform, and the other one was built on a shed, so it had we all stood up there, and it had a roll in. And so
That actually sounds pretty cool.
it was, but
Yeah.
when you rode plywood, you get those
Yeah.
splinters.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And it was all plywood then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we rode that for about a year, and then we heard about this ramp in Hermosa, Jake Piaseki's ramp. It was the first wave ramp. So Lonnie and I went there, and at the time they had a gate across. there was 2 back-to-back properties. Grandpa lived in one, Grandma lived in the other.
Yeah.
So we walked up to the gate, and we looked through the hole in the gate, typical, skate adventure. And we're looking through, and we could see them skating. We said, "Hey, let us skate!" And Jake was very territorial, and he came down off the ramp, walked over to the gate, like, "You can't skate!" And he's looking, he's going, "Oh crap, it's lonnie hiromoto," and whatever he said, and so he opened the gate, and we got to skate it, and so we rode that ramp for years with Mike Smith, Lonnie, and I.
Wow.
And then that's what got us back into skateboarding. We rode that thing every day for like 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, some of the sessions were pretty rad. Mike and Jay.
Oh yeah, man, Mike.
And so whenever we were preparing for contests, that's where we went. And there was a period where we went down to Stedham's ramp, in Leucadia.
Yeah.
And that was a good ramp to practice on, and that was good times then.
It'd be fun to skate. I always enjoyed skating with Mike.
Mike was rad.
Yeah, but he was all over the place, and he was super tight with Rocco, and he was super tight with Denise Downs, Barter, whatever. Anyway, she was like the Sims team manager unofficially, but she just took us around, and whenever I went to LA, I always stayed over her house. Frank, she was dating Fred Blood.
Gnarly.
So yeah,
he's huge now.
Is he?
I heard he's. Remember, he used to be.
Weighed about 125 pounds. Yeah.
You talking about Frank or Fred?
Fred,
right? The roller skater, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's heavy now. I heard.
Is
I
he?
heard.
Oh,
Like wheels.
because they always wanted to be a race car driver. I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, now he's a BMX, freestyle BMX.
Is he?
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, rad.
Gnarly.
No, I'm not trying to look him up.
He's
find
probably
what's
listening
going
to
on.
this going,
He
fuck
does,
Gnarly.
He does the flat ground stuff.
Oh, rad.
He's pretty good at it.
Wait, man, that guy's like 50 years old now. Or 60.
He's got to be close to 60.
Yeah, he's right up there about 60.
Gnarly.
So, and he's doing that. That's crazy, man. Well, good for him. All right, so where's P13 at? Did we run to 14 through? I want to show like these.
12, but I can do 13. Here we go. Here's 13.
Okay. Anyway, this is like your foot plant, getting that foot up.
Is that the keyhole or is that?
That's at Marina.
Yeah, the keyhole.
Yeah.
Or the,
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the keyhole. I was
that
in
an ad
that
or-
pool all the time.
Was that an ad right there?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
Okay.
Are those Hobie shoes?
Those are Hobie shoes, I think.
Man, I wish she still had those things.
Look at the pizza
Really?
tape.
Yeah.
What board are you riding? Are you riding
Amazing.
yours?
I'm riding my board.
Yeah.
That's a board with pizza deck on it.
Oh my God, that shit cut your hand.
Yeah.
Oh man, like
That's
okay.
why-
That's why I wore Home Depot style gloves.
Oh yeah.
You want to see my favorite shot? Where's P15?
Okay.
That is this
That's
right
a foot
here.
plant. See, that's a
Yeah.
foot plant.
There's
a foot
yeah,
plant.
that's the same thing I did right there in Upland. So I must have copied your version.
Now, this next one's a
This
wrap
this next
photo.
picture is like my favorite
Oh,
picture
yeah.
because it takes me way
Is
back
it-
to when I
is-
was like 15.
Is it
or
me knee
16.
sliding?
No.
No.
Yeah.
You're on your head,
No,
actually.
you recently posted it. I grabbed it off of Facebook.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
That's at Skatopia. I used to like
Were you like 11?
hitting those things. I think probably.
Probably 12.
No, probably 12.
Yeah.
12. Yeah, probably 12. But I used to like
Think
carving, grinding, and then hitting that wall and going dunk dunk,
Yeah.
and then dunk dunk, coming off of it. And
He has C&D stickers on.
I do.
Do you really?
C&D.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, that half pipe was so much fun.
I
I
got
love that thing.
I probably got C&Ds. Yep, I got C&Ds on there. I got probably a skid plate on there.
Well, I'm gonna have to go and I'll probably give Chuck a call tomorrow and just be like, hey, because he told me all the guys that rode for him, and he had a lot of the Badland guys,
Yeah.
like the Tay Hunt guys and all those guys that rode for C&D. I didn't know he ventured all the way over, but
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, I rode the wheels too for a bit.
You ever talk to Chuck?
No,
Dude, you should call him.
I don't even think he remembers who I am.
Oh, he will. Are you kidding, man? He talks to me endlessly.
Doesn't he have a shop in
Yeah.
Lake Isabella?
Yeah. Yeah.
I went there and just stumbled upon his shop. I was driving through downtown Lake Isabella, and I looked over and I go, a skateboard shop. So I said, I'm going in there, So I walked in there, and he was in there, and he actually had the door locked, and I knocked on the door, and I'm looking. This guy came up to the door, and he walked out. he opened the door for me, and I went in. We started talking, and I was thinking, who is this guy? You know, he's really old. He's pretty old now, and
Yeah.
he was just in the shop, and there's a lot of clutter and stuff in there. And we got to talking, and he said, "Oh yeah, I did C&D." I go, "I rode your wheels," and he had no idea who I was.
Yeah.
And I said, you know Lonnie Hiromoto? He goes, "Yeah, Lonnie rode for me." I go, "I rode for Lonnie, and I were best friends," and he just did not remember me at all. Had no clue who I was, and I'm
That
thinking.
makes you feel good about yourself.
And I said,
Made
"Lonnie."
an impact there anyway.
And then I said,
Yeah.
"Lonnie won the runway
Fucking
contest,"
Lonnie.
and he goes, "Yeah, Lonnie." And I said, "I took second." And he goes, "No, I don't know who you are." I was like, "Oh, wow."
That's
And
lame.
he was talking. We talked for a
Oh.
while about everything, and I knew everything that he knew, but he just did not know who I
Yeah.
was, and I don't know why. But he
Yeah.
just
Put
did.
He-
Who's
you know
Hot
what?
Because of that, I'm gonna put the Who's Hot up.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
All right.
Right? That's
Yeah.
the way I look at it is every time I think about it, all like the stats and everything that Howard has.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was gonna go back to that whole
No,
thing. wrong.
You
Okay,
know
go
what?
ahead.
I don't think they know or remember, and I think just like it's a patience thing right now. And I say that only because, like, you know, Mark Waters was doing such an amazing job, you know, and after we lost him, they're regrouping. That's about all I
Yeah.
can say. And it's going to take some time. They're still trying to figure out, like, who's going to be actually the person to be running everything. And I know everything's going through Stevie. So,
Stevie. Ken?
Van Doren.
Oh, Van Duren.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who I am
Oh.
either.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
You
Because I
know,
remember one
That's
time.
You shouldn't have been- you shouldn't have been wearing those- you shouldn't have been wearing Hobies.
Look at that photo's rad.
I'm riding Vans right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I rode Vans quite. Oh, there's that shirt that said Canoa Surf,
Yeah,
Canoa
that's
Surf,
the
and had
one.
the iron-on team.
Hey, you look at that photo. He made that.
Yeah.
I was there.
Bertleman slide out.
And because that love seat, it goes around and it's rounded. He would slide, hit the wall,
That surfer
and
has
land.
such an impact on skateboarding in the very
Oh, yeah.
beginning.
I remember that
I
pole.
remember I met when at the Elgato. I got to meet Larry Bertleman. I was like, wow, it's Larry Bertleman.
Yeah, he comes over like once a year.
Yeah.
He's like really tight with Dennis Martinez. Martinez gets and works it to get him over here.
Yeah,
So yeah, because he came over probably a year ago was the last time, and everybody went over to the GNS building and they had a big party for him, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was really cool. So, but you know, that's a tie through Dennis, of course, with GNS and stuff, and you know. Anyway, so yeah, I got to meet him and hang out. I got pictures with him,
That's
autographs, and you know,
one of
the
my
whole
favorite
bit.
pictures. I mean, hey Larry, you got to take a picture.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I know.
So we'll go to the other Who's Hot. Since the
What? There's another one?
Yeah.
Who else had a Who's Hot?
Well, since Howard's available, there you go.
There it is. Oh, what trick is he doing?
Andrek
That's
with
it,
a
baby.
broken arm. I got a broken
Cast.
arm.
Oh, no doubt. I never noticed that.
I had a broken arm, and they go, "Hey, we want to shoot your Who's Hot," and I'm like, "What
Yeah,
trick
how
do you
did
want
you
to
guys-
do?" I go, "I want to do an Andrek." And then, how you gonna do an
Right,
Andrek? Your
man.
arm's broken. I got this.
Yeah, it's weightless.
I'm doing an
If you're
Android.
doing it right, you're going to be weightless. So how did you guys get? Who contacted you about that when you guys got yours? Because I remember mine was just totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know.
I think
Well-
Tuzo set it up.
Yeah,
Oh, did
Tuzo did it,
Okay.
and he had
Who? Don Sheridan. Don't you remember Don? He used
Of
to drive the
course.
Volvo.
You know, I know who Don is, but the thing about Don is, in my interview for my Who's Hot, I didn't say anything in it. They just wrote it down and said, "Here's your Who's Hot." And
Oh,
I'm
is
like-
that it?
I'm
Okay.
like, oh, thanks a lot.
There's a lot of stuff that was like that back in the
Yeah,
day. I just read my own interview that I
Yeah.
supposedly gave, and there's so much stuff that was added in.
Yeah.
I never read it before.
Yeah.
And then I actually read it. I was like, I never fucking said that.
Oh, yeah.
And I never said that, you know?
None of the stuff
So-
in my interview I said. None of it.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like,
You know, that's media.
yeah, I
Right.
guess. They're
It's-
trying to spice it up. Or
Spice it up.
the way I looked at it is they tried to make me look bad.
Oh, you
know?
need to get the hype man that
Right.
would the media guy that would say the right things to build you up.
Yeah, well, you know, you pay for those guys. Nowadays they all have managers and everything else, man. Back then we got ripped off to the
ripped off,
and
Right.
Here's
none
your
of us,
check.
man. Yeah.
Here's your check. See
Here's
you
your-
later.
Yeah.
Well, how many boards did I sell?
Yeah.
Here's your check.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, it was
Because
so...
I remember I was doing the mail order, and you know, you see all these boards going out, shoo, shoo, and then you
Yeah.
got your check, and it's like, hey, here's your check.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, you had the biggest selling board,
Mhm.
and then you got your check and say, wait a minute,
Man,
something doesn't add up.
They barely make my minimum here.
Right.
And these boards are being sold around the world, and there's 2 wood shops making 4,000 of each a month.
Yeah.
You know, between Taylor and Madrid was making, I think they were making like 2,000 to 4,000 a month. They just had a PO, just like make them.
That
and then
is weird how that
Hout was
works.
making 1,000 to 2,000 depending every month. You
'Cause
know.
after our
And
Japan trip, whole bunch of my tri-beams went out.
Yeah.
All to Japan, all kinds of boards.
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing a check.
Hey, I know my board was being done by somebody up north in L.A. and I never got paid for. I mean, they set my boards for 2 years and I never got a dime.
Right,
You know,
right.
so we all know who that is. But- yeah, I think he ripped off like probably just about everybody that ever went there.
Oh,
So
the Vision guy. No.
I don't remember. I don't remember his name.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Oh, that's too funny, man. Anyway,
There's a select of names.
yeah, right.
Yes, a list, a
Hey,
long list.
Did you ever go? Did you guys go to Colorado contest? Because that was a really
No,
good contest.
Never got to that.
No, okay, that was a super fun contest.
I
It
think
was-
by that time, you know, I was basically in the Hester, and then we did the runway. We did the, you know, there was a few contests, and then by the time, was it Boulder and all that came
Yeah.
along?
yeah,
His Gold Cup that came right after Boulder.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's when I went
That's when I-
sideways.
That's when I got into punk rock and surfing and hanging
Dye
out.
your hair purple?
No, I had a big
Yeah, big
mohawk.
old mohawk.
I had you know, had all the hair and
Was it blonde?
had all the spikes and stuff.
No, you
No, I never dyed my hair blonde. Had dreadlocks.
had dreads.
Had all that stuff, and so yeah,
You're
still skateboarded. I have, you know,
you're so normal. What the hell?
was somewhat normal.
Right, Howard had long,
Anybody who skateboards
gnarly,
not
you know, the
not
punk rock,
normal.
big old spikes.
Oh.
He had a gnarly one.
Spent a lot of time down in Hollywood
Yeah,
late at night.
yeah. We're just gonna bypass that.
Right?
I know what happens in Hollywood,
Right.
man. Holly weird.
That's tripping.
Especially, yeah. Okay. All right. So, right now, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah,
Well, when
like-
I took off from skateboarding, when it kind of died, whatever, I was working. I worked for
Oh,
the
yeah.
airlines.
Well, you guys. Oh, really?
I did
You work for the
electrical
airlines?
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
I used to
okay.
work for Continental Airlines.
Okay.
And then doing fuselage, working on the fuselage and everything.
Okay.
So through all that, I got into that kind of work and electrical work and stuff. So, I mean, what are we doing as far as now? Basically an electrical line
Okay.
field. That's electrician. I do IDAS stuff, public safety, radio communication, like stuff. And it keeps you busy. I wish I could skate every day like, you know,
Yeah,
all
other
these
people?
other guys
Yeah.
do. You know, like, because that way I can't show up at a pool party and they go, what is he doing here?
Yeah.
This isn't your era. And it's like, man, why can't I skate with like Dennis Martinez
Yeah.
and all the guys that were supposed to be? No, or Dave
Yeah.
Hackett,
That's some shit.
Howard Hood, all that.
I don't want it.
So you get to skate with your era. That to me, you're a skateboarder. Like what was it?
Yeah, but
Tampa. Ron, 59 years old, out there skating Tampa this past year.
oh, just
Yeah,
recently.
Yeah, 59 skating out there with the kids in an open division, and he held his own. I think he got 14.
Nice.
There's like 100
Who
people
was
in
that?
thing, so he got 14th.
Ron, Ron, who skated for you.
Yeah.
Ron.
Last name I'm drawing a blank on.
Ron.
He skated for me.
Yeah, Ron. Skated for you. Lives up in the Bay Area now. That guy.
Oh, Ron Allen.
Ron Allen. Sorry, I was drawing a blank on the last
okay,
name.
Ron
man.
Ron
Allen.
Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he skated
Ron
skateboard in camp with his
Allen.
dad. We were sitting here watching it. And
Ron Allen?
Yeah.
Dread.
Yeah,
Dread.
Ron Allen.
Yeah,
Oh,
not anymore.
sick.
Not anymore, but yeah.
He was
No.
killing it.
Yeah, Ron's
Ron's
rad.
rad.
Man. Yeah. He's
That's
still doing
rad.
it at
And then
his
there was
age.
another guy who was, what
Hey.
was he, 47 or
Yeah,
48?
Tyrone was out there, you know, like T-Bone was just killing it too. I saw his run, man. He stayed on the board. I was super stoked for him. You know?
Sick.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that are in their mid-40s that are competing out there against the 20 and 18-year-olds, you know.
No.
That are still, I mean, you know, they're not going to win it, but they were still like competing and holding their own and doing good for what they were doing. There
How's
should be
Buck
a-
Smith doing? Is he still ripping?
Buck, I think so, yeah. I heard that Buck was still ripping out there. So,
Buck's rad. I always
yeah,
enjoyed watching him
yeah.
skate.
I mean, I think Buck is actually in the Florida Hall of Fame too.
Nice.
So they have their own like full Hall of Fame. So I think what they did was really cool too. So and especially given like guys like Jim McCall, Lake, all those guys are in the Hall of Fame over there and well deserved, man, because
Yeah.
you know they brought a lot to it. Of course, McGill and Gelfen are in it, and you know, but
Right.
there's like just so many, you know, really good names that like when I was
like
when I
isn't
was-
Sergi Ventura from out that way?
he's Virginia Beach.
Oh, Virginia
Yeah,
Beach.
he's Virginia Beach, but yeah, that guy's
And
a
then,
high flyer too, you know. So
what is his name again?
who are we thinking of?
Booger?
Huh?
Booger Brown?
Oh my god.
Isn't Booger from out there too? Or Mark Lake?
Yeah, Mark's from Florida, but
Mark Lake.
are we talking? When you say that, we're talking Ned Brown or no?
No, Ned Brown wasn't known as Booger.
No. Oh, I don't know
No,
who
Dan,
it
I
is.
think Dan, right?
Dan Brown?
Dan Brown? Is it Dan?
I don't know.
I
I
just
don't
know him
remember.
from Booger
I
Brown.
don't remember. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I was like going, no, man, you don't do that. That's not good. But
No, I
unless you-
skated.
unless you
He
know-
came out here not too long ago.
Oh, did he?
I thought he was
Okay.
from Florida because he's riding a Mark Lake board.
Probably. If he's
Right.
riding Mark Lake, then he probably
So
is.
that whole Tampa thing recently was that it was a contest.
Yeah. Oh
Like-
yeah, it happens every year.
Like a
It's been going on
Masters
for-
contest.
skate-
No, it's not, man. There's no
Skateboard
Masters at
Tampa.
all.
No, it's just an open
Open.
division.
Open pro.
Tampa
Really?
Pro,
Yeah,
and then they have the
Pro, it's
Tampa
open.
Am.
It doesn't matter
Yes.
how old you are, you're in there.
So
Yeah.
everybody's just skating against everybody.
Exactly. It was so cool.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's on YouTube. You can
Yeah,
watch the
you can
whole
watch
thing,
it.
all 7 hours of it.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
Yeah, Saturday and all 7 hours on Sunday too.
Gnarly. Is that one that Shreddy took a slam? Shreddy Mercury?
I don't
I
know.
think so.
They show him cracking his
Yeah,
head.
there was a lot of falls. We sat
Yeah.
in here and watched it.
Gnarly.
Yeah, I couldn't watch all 7 hours of it, but you
Yeah,
know,
that's
you
a
know, I
long
was trying to
process.
like work and look up and watch it for a minute, and you know, it
What were they
depends on
riding, that Kona
like
boat?
names. No, that's different. This is just a skate park.
Street style.
Yeah, it's all street.
Oh, banks
It's all
and stuff.
It's all ramps and
Rails.
rails and all that
Boxes.
stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
boxes,
gnarly.
yeah, stairs, stuff
Street.
like that. Yeah, street stuff.
Gnarly.
But you know, those guys, they put on a great show,
Mhm.
and it's been going on for, God, since
20,
94, 95. It's been going on.
26 years, I think.
So yeah,
Nice.
and you know, I mean, it's all done by the Florida. You know, but it's done by all the guys that have been in Florida forever.
That's
and,
right.
You know, Brian Schaefer and their
Yeah.
whole crew. So they put on a really, really good event. They've been doing it forever.
That's right.
So anyway, so if you want to get a contest, get into some street, Lonnie, if you're
No,
ready
thanks.
for it. You know, we'll start a.
I'll look funny wearing my knee pads and pads on street.
Oh, yeah. No way, man. People love it. They'll be rooting you on. Like, oh, man, go on.
Yeah.
I guess you'd be the oldest guy in the thing. I think it'd be fun to do. We should get all of our old generation guys to go out there.
Well, we had
I'd
talked-
love to
we
see
had
like
talked about
Tony
that,
Hawk
just have
do
a
it.
giant open. Just say, hey,
Yeah.
open. Here it is. Here's the format. Go.
I was trying to get them to get together all the guys in the Hester series, like Hester's 1 series, Hester's 2,
Yeah.
and then start like an old.
Yeah, the only problem is you'd have like 5 guys in it.
A lot of people don't
And then
ride
there'd be
anymore.
like 40 of us sitting outside watching, like, hell no, I'm not doing that now. I mean, like, okay, we were
It'd be,
talking earlier about
Olsen, Salva, and a couple other guys.
who?
Yeah.
Olsen
Olsen,
and Salva.
Salva.
Oh shit! If they're gonna skate, then I'll have to skate.
Right?
Yeah.
Bowman's still
Bowman been
right.
skating again.
Bowman's ripping.
Yeah. All I have to do is just.
Marker. Who
Yeah,
else?
Doug.
Oh yeah.
And the other, his compadre.
Who? Bill?
No, not Bill.
His compadre. I don't know who
The,
hangs out with him like that.
down south skater. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Kyle
Kyle. Yeah.
Jensen. Kyle Jensen.
Oh, Jensen.
Yeah.
He's still skating.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys.
There's a
from
lot
that
of older
Hester that
guys.
are still skating.
That were in the Hesters. I
Yeah,
see
if
him
you
all the
wanna-
time.
if you
And
want-
Hester's,
yeah.
Hester's still alive, so we can get him and prop him
Get
up
Hank
out
on
there.
it. Get Hank back. Dude, Hank was a beast. You beat him in that contest. That bank slalom contest.
Yeah.
Hank was in there on that one.
Yeah,
I was looking
think-
at the
I think,
names, man.
Stolberg was in that.
Steve
Yeah.
Evans was in on that.
Evans, yeah.
Man, like
Yeah,
Charlie
Charlie
Ransom?
Ransom.
yeah, Ransom was in that.
Ransom, wow.
Charlie Ransom.
Yeah,
He's
that guy got a lot of coverage back in the
Aki
day.
Akiyama was in that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Aki, yeah.
And all the slalom guys were in
Yeah.
there. Biniak
All those
was in
all those
it.
downhill dudes were in it. All the
Olsen,
downhill. Yeah.
Olsen was in it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You could beat Steve too.
I
Or
think
did he
out-
get third?
I think he outplaced me.
Oh yeah, I think he did. I think he got second or third actually.
Yeah.
Olsen did real well there.
Maybe,
In that bank slalom one?
yeah, the Pepsi challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked myself when I made 5th place in that one. Like I remember they announced that my next heat was against Stacy Peralta, and I outplaced him. And then I remember Tuzo telling me, "Go shake Stacy's hand," and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, no way!" I'm like, "That's Stacy Peralta," and I kind of stuck my hand out, and he said, "Congratulations." I was shocked,
Yeah. Oh.
especially to I've never been in a slalom contest.
Yeah, I
never,
forgot.
never raced anybody, and to finish 5th out of all those people.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at the list.
There's only 4 better.
Mike Weed, just
Yeah.
all those people
Yeah.
that were in that thing. It was an amazing contest.
Yeah, he entered a lot of those.
Well, I mean, just
contests.
the fact that it's like versatility skating. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, all of us started out
Yeah.
freestyling and
Right.
doing hippie hop or whatever they
Yeah.
call it now.
Hops.
High jump.
Yeah.
We did all that.
Yeah, we did.
Put cones out and
Yeah.
went through them.
Beer cans out, whatever.
Yeah, and I tried.
Right.
I remember seeing Tony Alva do the 18
Barrels, yeah.
So I would, we'd all
Yeah.
do long jump and
Yeah.
try and jump over cars and
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
And so we did slalom racing, out in your front yard.
Yep.
And then you would do nose wheelies everywhere, because
Handstands. come
'Cause
on,
you
man,
wanted
we did
to-
it all.
you were a skateboarder,
Yeah.
so that's what you saw. Everyone
That's
did
what
it.
you did.
So that's what you did was you wanted to do a handstand.
Yeah. A lot of history, man.
Right?
A lot of history.
It is
I was just
crazy.
thinking about it. Like sitting right here, we've got like 120 plus years between us and skateboarding.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm 50 or at least 50 years. Lonnie's probably
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, I can. I started actually skating in '73. That's when I was like, got the board and skated every day. I quit all my other sports. I was playing baseball and soccer and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that stuff, and I was just like, I'm done with this. And I remember my mom was like, "What do you mean you're done? You're not quitting?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna quit. When I finish the season, then I can quit. I'm not going back."
It's
So I
fun.
had to finish the season, and I missed a few games in there, but
A
you
funny
know.
story. I ran into this guy at DMV. Might have been like about maybe a year ago. And then he was like, "Hey, you're Lonnie Hiromoto, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "You were in my class in elementary school." And he said, "I'll never forget this. He was the best thing ever." And I'm like, "Why? What'd I do?" Because I did some crazy shit in elementary school. Like, we had this one teacher, and I put ink on the bottom of her drawer, and she came in with a white skirt.
Oh
She
shit!
pulled her drawer, and shit was all black. Anyway, so I thought he was going to tell me something like that. But he goes, "No. The teacher called your name because you came into class late, and then you sat down, and then you got up, and you slammed your chair down, and you go, 'I don't need this shit. I'm going to be a professional skater.'" And I walked out and never came back to that class. And I was like, "Really? I did that?" And he was like, "Swear to God." And I was like, "Damn, that's pretty punk rock." I was like, "Shit, I did that."
So Howard, where are you working at now? You're at the shop,
Yep.
running that one. Okay.
Work at a skate shop.
Cool, man.
I guess.
Again.
Well, tell us where
Yeah.
it is. And
It's
what the
in-
name
Yeah,
is.
man. Give
South
James
Bay
a little
Skates,
plug.
Torrance, California.
Yeah.
Mail order.
He has a website, southbayskates.com, and it's a museum too. Has a pretty good board collection, probably 700 boards
Has
up in
an
the ceiling.
amazing. It has an amazing
Right.
collection.
Yeah, and he has some wheel collection and some. It's got some rector pads. Just some. It's a really cool shop.
Yeah.
If you're ever in town and you want to see the.
A legend.
Oh,
You
yeah.
You,
Well, we've
you,
been talking about going up there.
you want to see the
boards.
60s, 70s, 80s up in the
Rapid.
boards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, quite a few
All
boards.
around the place, man.
Yeah.
And I think they're almost all for sale, aren't they?
If
You've got the
meet-
money.
If
Yeah.
you've got the money,
You
buy,
better
sell,
not
and
sell
trade.
my board.
buy, sell, and trade. Come
Is-
on down.
Yeah.
He's got my original board that I did.
Yeah, I've been working there about 10
that,
years.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still there because, of course, I'm
Yeah.
a skateboarder, and
Right.
it is because it fits my schedule.
That's good.
I could go on trips and do stuff that I want.
Yeah. And I'm sure James is pretty lenient on you.
Yeah. Well, we have enough guys to cover all the shifts.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm thinking about wrapping this thing up. I've had a really good time, and thank you guys for coming. If you guys have anything you guys want to remember, you want to say, any thank yous, shout outs, anybody?
Clarifications.
Yeah.
Things in the past.
Not really.
No? You're so quiet.
I want to
I
thank
can't
you guys
do
for
it.
giving us the
Yeah,
opportunity to
Yeah, this was really fun, man.
get
And-
this going.
know.
Because you just said something that, man, we'd be here for another hour or two.
I know, man. I know.
Well, it's actually the first
So-
time that I think we've ever been interviewed in a meaningful way.
Yeah? Yeah.
I never had a magazine interview. I remember Juice magazine. Jay came up to me at church at the sanctuary one day and said he wanted to interview me, and it just never happened. So
Yeah.
you're the first time
Hey.
I've ever been interviewed.
Awesome.
in a
Well, you know
meaningful
what?
way.
I know there's a ton of stories that we all have from back in the day.
You just put Juice
And-
Magazine on blast. No.
No. It wasn't
That's-
like that.
No, that's okay though. I mean, hey,
No, I
I was
know.
asked let's see, probably about 25 years ago, to go on the Juice and do an interview, and I was like, yeah, let's do it, and I never heard back either.
Right.
So
Dan
know.
had told me that a bunch of times.
I was like, no, you get all the important guys first now.
Right. Oh,
No,
yeah.
I
you're
mean that's not
important.
even. I mean, I hate. I shouldn't say that. I'll be honest with you guys. Thank you again for coming up here. It's really hard to schedule people. Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah, on a Thursday, you guys came down. Thank you so much. I know it's a long way, man. You got a 2-hour drive to get back home.
Hey, you asked.
I know, man. And again, thank you so much. But it is. It really is. It's hard to schedule people.
Well,
when
I
you
got a pretty free schedule. So.
yeah. Okay. Well, I really appreciate it. I know our
Well-
next guest. I'm gonna have Jake Brown in here next week.
Sick.
You
Tell
know,
Jake we said he's rad.
you're saying it right now, man. But yeah,
Watching
Jake.
right now.
Jake
Yeah,
Brown's
yeah.
rad.
You just said it to Jake right now. He's watching. Hey, Jake.
Uh,
No.
Hey, is
So-
that on there?
What's that?
We didn't talk about that. No.
What's that? What are we talking about?
No, we don't
Foot
want to talk about that.
Oh, the foot plant. Oh, yeah, man.
I'm just putting the pictures that we didn't talk about.
The
on
how
to.
talking, just
Yeah.
running through 'em.
Right.
Okay. Well.
We
Huh?
talked about it at least.
Yeah, the
It's
trick
up
tips.
Trick tips.
Yeah, a
Trick
lot.
tips.
I actually got Grosso interviewed me on that,
there. Yeah, I remember.
and then I used to get a lot of feedback from Gresham because he was like, "Oh, I made that up" and everything like that, and then Grosso made a comment. Yeah, but they gave it to Lonnie because his looks better.
Oh no, man.
And
Man.
it's done totally different. Like
Oh, they're totally different.
my foot plant, I think up boards.
Where does
Just
Christian
above,
was
just
out?
above your hip.
Yeah, his is down below.
No, is it?
He steps off, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I would say.
I don't know.
I would say it's
This
a
is
foot
what-
plant
this
and
next
and
photo coming up.
oh yeah, Winchester. Little Howard
one
on
of my
there.
favorite photos of Howard.
Yeah, that was a really good contest.
Oh
That
yeah,
pool-
he loved that contest.
That pool was perfect.
I have to
See,
say, you
that's
know
on a
what?
delay. There you go.
I wish that
That pool was rad.
I had that pool.
You know that
again
coping
today.
was so nice.
You know that
It was
coping
big
was
and
so
fat.
dangerous.
It was fat. I like that.
It was. Remember how slippery the top was?
Yeah.
You do board slides. You did anything, man. You could slide that whole pool if you had the angle for it.
Oh yeah, that pool was so smooth.
Do you know that people jump
pool
that
was rad.
channel? That channel there. Remember
Yeah,
how
yeah.
wide that channel was?
Yeah, yeah.
I think Scotty Frost was doing it.
Yeah.
I think I even saw pictures of Stevie.
Cab
doing it. Cab doing it too.
Skateboard
That
Madness.
pool was so rad.
Skateboard
Yeah.
Madness. There's a
I
lot
went
of
there
there's
every
footage
day.
in
The
it.
summer of '78, I went there every day. So I was back here from Japan. That's where I met Stevie. That's a great photograph.
What about
Where
Milpitas?
was this photograph?
Dan Levy took that.
Where?
That's at Venice.
Oh,
That
okay,
was the,
that's what I
that
thought.
was
You
the
win.
Jay
Yeah.
Adams
You
thing.
win.
Yeah.
That was the Jay Adams thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know you didn't make that, but it looks really cool.
No, he took that picture early. I told
Oh,
you,
is
he
that-
took that picture early. I wasn't even up on my tail yet.
Okay, man.
Because he had me do a tail tap, and I'm like, I seen that
You
picture.
know how hard it
I
is
go-
to do a tail tap in the shallow one like that?
And I was
Like
like,
that. That's a hard.
no, that's not the shallow end.
That's
That's
not?
the start of the big
Sidewall,
wall.
yeah.
is
That's
it?
the
On
big
the shoulder?
long sidewall.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that long sidewall.
All right. Yeah, because I
And
know
if
that's
you look, my wheels
tight.
just
Yeah, yeah.
coming up
Yeah, yeah,
to
all
get
right.
on my tail. And
to
I
get
was
locked
like,
in.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
was like, oh, you took that early. It looks funky. He was like, that's what I use.
I always miss the right photo,
I was
So
like, oh, man.
yeah, I don't know what the next one is. Is
It's
that
the Howard Hood. It's
Yeah.
Howard's.
is that Big O?
Big O.
Newark.
Oh, okay. Or Newark.
Or is it Newark?
That's
It is
Newark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is.
Howard was blasting in that tournament,
Yeah.
that contest,
That was a heated,
Talking about an early picture right
heated
there.
session.
right?
No kneecaps.
It's either that or you were taking that to
No
fakie. I don't know.
kneecaps on the-
No, there was a
plastic caps on
sequence.
the
I think
kneecaps.
that's like the first
Yeah.
shot of a sequence where
Yeah.
Look at his knee pads,
Look at that hair.
right? No, he had an afro. He had an afro. Oh,
yeah, my hair was very
very kinky.
it grew out sideways.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
He
man.
definitely had that bushy, like.
Well, I was hoping Dell was going to stop in.
Yeah.
He told me he was going to try and come down.
Oh,
and-
was it? He
and
lives
stop
out here,
in.
doesn't he?
Yeah, he lives 10 minutes down the road, maybe.
I saw him yesterday.
So, oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He
That's
went up
when I
there.
was skating from
Yeah.
Madrid.
Was he coming or going at that point?
He was going.
Oh, he was coming back here.
I saw him the day
What year
before.
was that?
I think that was 2000 and. Hmm.
5?
Let's. Yeah.
No, that's probably 2010,
10.
11. Yeah, that's probably right when close to when I started skating again.
Yeah. Well,
That's close to when I started skating again.
That's it.
I think that's it for it, man.
That's it.
That was all our good news and fun. I didn't put your 540s up or your 720s. So,
Thank you.
you know, I was thinking about it, but, I didn't want to put the pressure on
That's
you.
all him.
No, yours, Lonnie. I didn't want to put the pressure on you to
No.
have to do that again. Like, hey, how come you're not still spinning those?
Oh man.
Or the Elgarials, But
No, that's Eddie's
you
trick.
You can show me that when down at the El Gato on November 11th and 12th.
Oh, I'm gonna go skate there this weekend.
Are you?
Yeah.
This weekend? Well, it's only gonna be about
Saturday.
105 out there, so
So we're going at 9 in the morning. As soon as they open.
yeah.
It'll
I think they open at 10.
It'll only be 90.
Like 10 o'clock, it'll
It'd
be
be
100
90.
degrees.
I think it opens at 9.
Oh, does it open at 9?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say because I was out there like a month ago, and it was like 103, and I was there at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's when it
And,
gets hot. That's why I said.
And I just remember, as soon as I got there, the guy was like, "Dave Andrecht," because you have to fill out the information and stuff, and I'm like, "Yeah." And he gets on the phone, calls Eddie. Eddie, Dave Andrecht's here. And then Eddie was there for like 10 minutes later. Him and Donna showed up. I
Right.
was like, "Man, that is awesome."
Did you like that? I hate the fact that they made that pool so small.
Well, you know what? I think it's awesome that it's the way it is.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Okay, because you have, the other two pools that are already 13, right? That's legit.
Yeah.
And now you have one that's 10. So why not, if people don't want to skate it, they don't have to go.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a really fun size, and it just looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, you don't want everything to be exactly the same as it was. I mean, you'd hate HB because they flipped the, you know, the round and the square, right? And I mean, do you hate it because of that? No, it's just different, unique. It's another place to skate. I think Eddie did a great job on it.
I
So,
wonder when they're gonna open up Orange again.
oh my gosh, that would be amazing
Right?
if people could make that same pool again. That would be incredible.
I love
no
that
question.
bowl.
Yeah.
Like to ride it one more time.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that too. I'm like, how come nobody's redone the capsule?
Right?
You know, that thing had like 11-foot face, would you say? The face on that,
Yeah.
you know, all the way around, it was like 11 foot. It wasn't like 10. It was like a foot deeper.
No, it was 11 foot.
Yeah, it was 11 foot,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was 11
and
foot.
I don't know. I just, like, I don't know
Well,
why
they made
nobody.
something similar. That's
Where?
slow.
Oh, did they
Isn't that slow park?
have that capsule style in there?
Right there, you just missed it.
Oh. Yeah,
Today's
that's Linda
skateboard.
Vista.
Yeah, that's Linda Vista.
LV.
Slow is
Hey,
that.
I didn't know that.
You wrap up YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guys. Anyway, I know you guys got a long drive ahead, and I do want to really thank you again, and everybody out there. If you like the show,
Here, this one.
please make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and you know, don't be afraid to comment and tell us how we can get better. We're working
Especially
at it
we have
every
Kevin
time,
Dye on
and
it.
you know what? We're still having a lot of fun, so that's really what it's all about for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, take care, thank you, and we'll see you next week with Jake Brown. Okay?
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Jake Brown.
So.
I thought we were off air already.